What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday, except I have two special guests with me today. I got Kelly Keegs and Gia Mariano. They both host Taylor Watch here at Barstool, covering all of your Taylor Swift needs, and they are pop culture queens as well. They know it all, so we will be discussing it all. But of course, this podcast is presented to you by Macy's. Guys, right now, if you're trying to get into the fall of it all, right? It's fall. It's here. I got my hot cocoa. Maybe that's winter, I don't know, but we got fall, we got winter, it's all on the horizon. And right now, if you've been eyeing some fall essentials like oversized knits, durable loafers, and trendy necklaces, then you can look to Macy's Fall Fab Sale, offering 25 to 60% off on top brands. It's the perfect time to refresh your wardrobe. It absolutely is, guys. It's fall, it's winter, summer. Let me tell you, it's gonna be a long time before we see you. So get in the fall and winter mode. And right now, you can shop Macy's Fab Fall Sale, offering 25 to 60% off. This is from now until October 14th, so enjoy 25 to 60% off the season's standout styles. Shop at Macy's.com or head to a local Macy's store near you. If you're in the city, you can head to the big Macy's in Herald Square or go to Macy's.com and shop the sale. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the show. As I said, Gia and Kelly both host Taylor Watch together here at Barstool. They are covering everything having to do with Taylor. So we'll talk a little bit about Taylor today. We'll get into some topics a little bit later on. I also have Rone coming on later to do weekly watch report. Rone works at Barstool.
Love Rone.
If you guys know, Rone used to do a little segment called Dicks in the Office on this show for all the OG Chicks in the Office listeners. So that'll be a little bit later on. But
it was like radio.
It was. We used to do
right?
Dicks in the Office.
Yeah.
That was, and Caleb. But how are we feeling? How was your guys' weekend?
Good.
Fabulous.
Honestly, very chill weekend. Phillies won last night, so I'm a little bit on a
Riding
high.
high, feeling good. Baseball pants on.
It was very, very tumultuous. Biting my nails, staring at the TV.
I saw a little bit of
covering
that
my
game.
eyes. It was stressful.
You're like watching.
I was watching like this, literally. But it was
We watched a little bit of that game.
Yeah, we did. I grew up a
Sports
Mets
queen.
fan, so I was obviously rooting for the Mets. I do, when it comes to Philadelphia sports teams, I typically root for them for Fran.
Yeah.
But when it's the Mets, I'm rooting for the Mets, obviously.
But what about Marty? He's a Yankees fan.
He's a Yankees fan. If it comes to the Mets Yankees, then I'm gonna throw up in my hands in the air and say, "Let's have a good game, folks." But I did.
Let's just be good sports about this.
Yeah, come on, it's good sportsmanship. Well, no, my brother-in-law is also a Yankees fan, and Marty. So my parents are used to it. There's some crossover.
He has backup if he needs. You're not leaving him out to dry.
But if it's Mets versus anybody else, I'm probably gonna root for the Mets.
Yeah, I get that
for the sake of the fam.
Fair.
Kelly, we had a nice little family.
We had a lovely
yesterday.
evening. We had a lovely evening. Maria just slaved over a hot stove for 6 hours straight, made some of the most delicious meatballs and sauce and lasagna roll-ups I've ever had. And it was a lovely day. Invited us over. Noah was there. Everyone thought it was for Noah's birthday. It wasn't. I'll be the one to say it.
I thought we were going to run with it. It was.
Everybody was going to. I can't lie like that. We didn't celebrate one thing about Noah.
When's your birthday?
Next week. It would have been way
we
too
did
early.
talk about Noah's birthday coming up, and I was like, oh, why don't we go to a dinner for your birthday? Because he said he has no plans, which I'm sure we'll still do. And then I said, oh, maybe I'll do like a dinner party. And then I just decided to do that on Sunday anyway. Like
you have like the perfect
it was
apartment for it.
it was like a last minute thing. We were like, let's just all, I think we've got a little bit of Stockholm syndrome, like need to hang out, like coming off of, or at least I do. I'm speaking for myself. Coming off of the of like our time spent in Chicago or whatever a couple weeks ago. I think it's like, you see everybody all the time, and then you get back and you go back to your normal life. But like, I'd like a little dinner in there and kind of catch up with everybody and see how everybody's week was. And,
exactly.
So it was a nice little thing.
Nice little family dinner. Noah, what did you think about the cooking?
Ooh.
Incredible. I told you yesterday I was going to wait to the podcast, but I told you it was amazing. But you wanted like a real grade.
Yeah, you can be a real grade. And like I said, I'm open to criticism because I only want to improve.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like it was so good I could give it a 10, but I also
Oh my
God. But I want to like have room
gassed
for
up,
us
shot
to
room.
grow.
Of course, because there will be more meals. You're hoping for more meals.
More
in the future.
meals, better meals probably.
Because this honestly, I wouldn't even say is even close to my best.
Okay, so that's
This
what I'm
was
saying.
it was
then.
a cozy Sunday, just
Yeah.
real like makes you feel warm.
Lasagna-
Should I
home-
rate the day or rate the meal?
Rate the meal.
Ooh,
Because
and also
say,
the day.
I'll say what I made. I made homemade sauce, obviously. I made lasagna roll-ups, which people are like, somebody responded to me like, isn't that just manigot? Or how you guys would say, like, people say manicotti.
manicotti.
Yeah, that's just
but
not
even
how
I don't say it like that.
It's not. It's different.
No.
And I made
that's like a
meatballs,
whole different
and
thing.
I made homemade pigs in a blanket for some abs.
The pigs in the blanket were on fire.
I fucking
as
love
well.
pigs in a
Love
blanket.
pigs
They
in
were
a blanket.
cooked. They were. I don't know what you did with those. They were good.
They were
Fresh.
really
They were
good.
good.
I
I
mean,
ate
they
like
were
10
cold
of
when
them.
I ate them because I
Because
showed up.
Noah showed up
late.
which
We'll
an
talk
hour
about that
and 15
after,
minutes
though.
late. Shocker.
Rating?
I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Ooh,
I'll
that's
take that.
really good.
That's
Nice.
really good.
that's really good.
That's really good because that's not even like I said, I don't even think.
And
that's
I
the
was
best
like
thing I make.
perfectly full afterwards. Like, it didn't feel like stuff. Like, I didn't feel too stuffed, but I wasn't hungry anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, so we
was
had
The wine was nice.
lovely wine.
Wine was good.
So here's the thing. We had a start time of 1:00. Everyone come over at 1:00. We'll watch football, make apps, whatever.
While the sauce is on the pot,
While the
ready
sauce,
to go. Early
you
dinner.
could smell
Right,
it
right,
all.
right,
Yeah.
Noah shows up an hour and a half.
Well, and
an hour,
let's just make it clear that Tommy and Kelly didn't show up till like what 1:45,
What,
like
like-
1:50.
But we were ready to go, and that was an Uber choice. It was going to be either take the train or take an Uber. If I took the train, I think I would have been there
Here's
earlier,
the
to be
thing.
honest. But we had said in advance, we're just we're figuring it out.
Kelly
there
and
like 1:30.
Tommy left when you decided to go to the gym. Like they were
I
on
didn't
their
go to
way.
the gym. I was in my apartment.
That's true.
But Noah showed up
I
at
had to get a workout, and I was like, I feel disgusting.
Noah
did
showed
say
up
that.
about 2:40.
okay.
And
You have a treadmill in your apartment?
It's a little disrespectful.
no, not 2:15. No, it wasn't 2:15.
No, it was 2:30.
You want me
was
to-
like
let
it
me
was-
check. 'Cause
Yes.
I texted you.
Well, the question really is, did you get the Doritos before or after you got dropped off at?
I got it before I got in my Uber.
Got it. Okay, it was definitely 2:30 because we
Yeah,
were looking. We were just.
It wasn't
talking shit.
2:15.
Oh, it was 2:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So somewhere between 2:15 and 2:40. It was 2:30. And
I didn't think it was such a hard 1 p.m. be
no,
there.
it's just when you're cooking for people and you want to know when to put things in the oven, and
Yeah.
I had put apps in the oven and everyone's showing up late. I'm like, okay guys, that you can, it's gonna be fine, but just it's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
And that upsets me for you.
I am
can't have it.
notoriously late to everything. I'm just so.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
usually pretty
Or a lot
late
of
as well,
things.
but I wasn't as late as Noah, so
No,
it really
no,
doesn't
you
matter.
weren't.
for
A
me.
New York 1:00 is like 1:30.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's pretty much exactly what happened.
Two
Yeah.
2:40.
You're
That's a
pushing
little.
it.
That's a little rude.
2:30.
Tough.
And shows up with one solo bag of Doritos.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Come
think
on,
that's
Noah.
a bad move. I mean,
I mean,
At
I
least,
love the Doritos.
At least
I ate
it
them
wasn't
later.
empty handed.
All the girls, all the girls' faces
I
were
also
like
did
one
ask-
bag of Doritos.
I also did ask you, hey, do you need me to bring anything? You were like, no, I have everything. Tommy was like, oh, gonna bring. You were like, don't worry, I have it. So I'm like, all right, what can I bring? I'll bring a Doritos.
Not even a dip to go with it.
They already had the dip. They said they had.
okay.
And what do you dip Doritos in?
That's
You
true.
can dip Doritos in anything.
So you guys had the dip.
Nacho cheese.
just-
I won't be shamed for. Hey, I was late, but I won't be shamed for the Doritos.
singular bag.
I won't lie,
likes
they were
Doritos.
good. No,
I
And then
did-
you-
I
you
did
fucking,
end up eating
shit out of those
toast
Doritos
them
later.
I did end
Yeah.
up housing the Doritos
They're
later
really
on.
good.
So
Were they
amazing.
nacho or were they blue? The blue
Nacho.
ones?
They were
Yeah, I
Which,
like
nacho.
nacho.
by
I
the
like
way,
the
this,
nacho.
more to my credit, I like blue ranch more, but I was like, this is a safer for the group.
I actually
Blue
like.
Ranch.
I also
The new
like.
flavor of Doritos, Blue
Blue
Ranch.
Ranch.
ranch,
Blue Ranch.
Cool ranch.
That's what you
Cool
said,
Ranch.
Cool Ranch. But it was Blue Ranch was funny.
I like Cool Ranch better too, but I still ate the.
I like
nachos
them both
Doritos.
equally. It's very much mood dependent for me.
Well, all jokes aside, I had a lovely time. I'm glad you guys came. I thought it was a
Same.
lovely day.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, we just sat around. We ate dinner. We watched football. We watched baseball. It was a fantastic day.
Sunset in your
It was
apartment's very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's
all
gorgeous. I
windows.
take 1,000 photos. Well, I'm like I love a window. I love a view. I love anything like that. But the problem is I can't, I'll be mid conversation and I'll just zone out staring at the window and stop talking, or put myself up against a glass like a freak. But I just love it.
You look
I
at
love
people's
it.
windows.
Yeah, it's the
Like
best.
you're some
Look at these
deranged
beautiful
weirdo.
photos. Are you kidding me?
Do you not get what I just said?
What'd you say?
I looked in people's windows. I heard you. I heard
Thank you.
Was that like a
And I loved
Taylor
it.
Swift
It
thing?
is. It
Oh,
is.
okay.
I loved it.
Awkward. This isn't Taylor Watch.
That's what I said. I was like, no G.
had to
Not
get
the
it
time.
for home.
Not
I
the
had to get it
time. No, I'm
I
kidding.
thought she would get it.
Regardless, no, I got it immediately. I just knew she wouldn't. But the
I'm a fucking idiot.
yeah.
I'll just leave.
No, it was a lovely day, and I very much want to do more things like that. I think that people, like friend groups in general, don't utilize like a Sunday, family day enough. Like I think that everybody needs to have the friends over on Sundays more.
Yeah,
for
I
a little
agree.
situation.
It's like a good recharge.
Good food. Yeah,
It is.
You
More
don't have to get blacked
wholesome
out.
vibes.
Wholesome, yeah.
Yeah,
No
have a couple
need-
drinks.
right.
I drink a bottle of champagne, but that's okay.
Yeah,
That was an accident.
to yourself.
I thought other people were drinking it too, and they weren't. So,
Oh man,
What are
no,
you gonna
it was
do?
a lovely time though.
are you gonna
Obviously,
do?
I love when people come over. I love hosting. I love cooking for my friends. So I'm so glad you guys came. And Noah,
fabulous.
I don't actually care that you were late. Don't worry about it. And I did enjoy the Doritos, so you're good.
we were like cooking up a thing though. We were like, let's make Noah feel bad. And like,
Oh well, yeah. Tommy,
when Tommy texted?
when he texted me, I was like, I know that's not.
I
real.
think Tommy was legitimately mad that you were late. Like he kept being like, "What a piece of shit! He's so late." Like
just
he kept
likes to
bringing it
say
up.
that no matter what. I could have been 3 minutes late. He would have said that.
Oh man, well, good times had by all. It was a pretty chill weekend for myself as
Pretty
well.
chill.
Besides that, and
Oh, you know what I saw on Saturday? Oh my God, y'all! I saw the Lady Gaga Joker movie. And here's the thing:
was it horrific?
if you don't like an over the top artsy musical, you're gonna hate this movie. I do like that kind of movie. So I went in being like, you know what? I might like this. I might enjoy myself during this movie. I enjoyed myself for the first like hour and 15 minutes. I think the last like 20 minutes or so of the movie could have been totally cut out. There was basically no plot of the whole thing. But
So
it
you
was
did
like,
enjoy yourself.
I truly can't decide. I didn't hate it as much as everybody else does. Wait, I wanted to read this quote from the New York Times because it was the funniest. Like it made me want to see it more. Hold
I feel
on,
like
of
it's
course.
being universally hated.
That's what I'm saying. So the New York Times called it a dour, unpleasant slog, which I was like, I have to see this movie.
A
This is
slog.
a slog.
Let me tell you, I don't
That
know
was
what
right before
any
I saw
of
it.
those words mean.
I only know unpleasant.
Somebody's using the thesaurus function is what's happened. But so I went into it being like, all right, this is gonna blow, but I'm excited, whatever. We went for my friend's birthday. He walked out halfway through, said he couldn't even watch the rest
Joey
of the movie.
did?
Yeah, Joey walked
Oh
out and he
my
was like, I'll
God.
see you guys in my apartment after. Like, I'm done with this. I was like, you're so rude, but okay. And so he also didn't tell us. We stood up at the end of the
He
movie,
Irish
turned
exited
around.
his
Yes.
own.
We were like, what'd you think? And he was gone. So we were like,
Oh my
okay, great.
God.
Psychopath. And so but yeah, so the movie itself, like Lady Gaga, the acting is incredible. I think Joaquin Phoenix is like a freak. Lady Gaga's a freak. Everybody's a psycho. Brendan Gleeson is a cop. Mad Eye Moody. So I was excited to see him. And there's just a lot going on the whole time. Has nothing to do with like Batman or anything. Like if you're looking for like,
It's just like about his trial, right?
It's all about his trial,
Yeah.
and it leaves reality like half the movie. Like it keeps going to like a musical number like in his head and like stuff like that. So if that's what you're looking for, then go in with that. Yeah, weird movie.
Did you guys like the original Joker?
I never saw it.
I loved it.
It was very dark.
Yes.
It's very uneasy.
I just never
For sure,
found
which I love.
myself in the mood to watch it. And I feel like if I would have watched it with somebody else or like seen it in theaters, and I just never got around to it.
You might like it actually, Gia. Now that I'm
I
thinking
think I
about it.
would.
If you were in like a moody mood,
Yeah.
you would like it.
I just heard it was so dark, so I was like,
It
I don't
is,
know if
yeah.
I'm ready to face that.
No,
Yeah.
it was really dark. I saw it in theaters, and I remember feeling extremely like uneasy after. But I thought he did such an incredible
Yeah.
job. Like, obviously, he's an amazing actor. But watching it, I was like, "Ooh, this isn't like one of my favorite movies ever is The Dark Knight," which is weird because
Yeah.
I don't really love like superhero movies or anything like that.
It's a
But to
fantastic
me,
movie, though,
The
yeah.
Dark Knight is more realistic. Like anything with Batman is a little bit more realistic to me than
Yeah,
the
because
other
he doesn't
ones.
fucking
That's
fly.
ironic.
Right,
Yeah.
like he's just like saving, like
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
in Gotham,
He's
like
just a
fighting
rich
crime.
dude.
Oh,
He
more
has
than
a lot
like
of-
Marvel, you mean?
Yeah, like,
I thought you meant more than like the Joker. I was like,
no,
weird.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the Joker, and
know
I
what you
love
mean.
anything having to do with like the Batman universe because it's just a little bit more realistic to me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Other superhero
agree with
movies,
Did you watch the last Batman with Robert Pattinson?
I haven't watched that one
That
yet.
one's really good.
I have
That
30
one's like
minutes
more
left on that movie.
in the Joker realm of like
I
really
think
dark.
Yeah, it's good.
I was actually talking about this the other day. Like, I think if Heath Ledger would have just continued being the Joker, obviously everyone wishes that. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like no,
Of course.
unfortunately,
anyone who after him will always be compared to him.
it's always
I feel
going to be
Yeah,
like, but
yeah.
remember Heath Ledger's Joker? Because I feel like he had the perfect mix of being like depressed and things happen to him, but also he's not letting that get him down. Like
Yeah.
he's evil and he's going to do shit about it.
I
Whereas
honestly
Joaquin
think-
Phoenix is just like very down in the dumps.
For sure. I do think though that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is closest to Heath Ledger's as opposed to everybody else who's like tried to do it.
I mean, Jared
Because he's got
Leto,
Jared
what the
Leto. I'll
fuck
laugh
was
you out of
that?
the fucking building. Are you out of control? Jared Leto he needs to stop trying to be the Joker. Like he's tried to be the Joker in like 5 different movies now. It's like you're just not it, dude. Like
Barry
it's not for you.
is supposed to be the
Yeah.
next.
He
Joker.
looks-
I think he would be incredible.
I think that'll
I think
be
he'll be
awesome
incredible
because he's a real psychopath
You should
as well.
watch the Batman and like the last like 5 minutes they like show like they don't show him but like show his voice.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
there is
Did
a
you guys,
deleted scene of him. Did you see that?
Oh, there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I saw
and
it.
Oh,
he
I've
looks like
seen.
he'll be more in the Heath Ledger realm.
Yeah,
For sure.
Did
which
you
is
guys ever
fantastic.
watch Gotham, the TV show?
No.
No, but everybody's telling me to. I also need to watch Penguin. or
That one
whatever.
was really good. It's actually the guy from the OC was in it.
Ben
Ryan.
McKenzie? I knew
Yes,
this. I
he
forgot
was
about,
in it.
I didn't know that's a Batman thing.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense.
Well,
Gotham.
It's also I'm blanking on his name. The kid from Shameless plays the Joker. in
Carl?
it. No.
I love
he was on our
Carl,
show. Cameron Monaghan plays the
okay.
Joker in Gotham.
Got it.
He
okay.
was really good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good actor.
Yeah, he's
He is
really
good.
incredible. But I've never seen the Batman with Robert Pattinson because I also heard that one was kind of strange.
It
I
is
thought it was
dark.
really
So I
good.
watched it. I watched it a couple weeks ago, but I didn't finish it. It's a really long movie. It's 3 hours
yeah,
long.
it's long.
And I went in not realizing it was 3 hours long. So I watched about 2.5 hours of it, and then I was like, oh my god. So I got to watch the end of it. But it is
Yeah.
really good.
It's really good.
Just don't watch
like,
it when you're
it's,
tired.
It's an interesting like new take on it because you don't really get like that in depth of like personality
emo.
from
Yeah.
Batman really.
He's like
And-
emo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah,
He's
that's what I
very
said.
emo. Zoe Kravitz is so hot in it.
She's
Oh,
so
she's so hot in
just
everything.
really good.
I mean,
Yeah,
She's fantastic.
And
She's
I didn't
Catwoman.
really like it the first time I watched it, but when I watched it at home, I was like, "Whoa, this movie's really, really, really
yeah,
good."
it's well shot. You know,
Yeah.
well acted. All the pieces, all the people in it are really good.
I need
but
Lady Gaga to get a better
she,
role. I
I'm
feel
telling you,
like.
she was not bad. Like I understand why people are like, this movie sucks, because if you're a superhero movie person, this movie is not for you.
Yeah.
It's very much like an artsy take on it all, which I love a movie
I
like
don't know
that
if this is
I'm in the
true,
right mood.
but people on Twitter were saying like that the Joker, the first one, was so like fucked up and kind of like justified him being so fucked up in a way that like they wanted to make this one so bad that people wouldn't like sympathize.
No,
with,
you
like,
it kind of went the
fucked
other
up
way.
people.
It kind of went the other way because,
Yeah.
and also, you know what? I'm fresh off. I don't want to get too much into shows because you have your weekly watch report coming, but like I'm fresh off the Menendez brother thing, and so you know, the Joker's whole thing is that he was abused as a kid, and whatever. So they bring a lot of that up, and in the movie, like the whole point of the trial is to prove that like the Joker's a different person, that he's got split personality. Like that's what they're talking
yeah.
about, and so that's the whole thing. And honestly, like the case is made immediately. Like it's almost like the people who are arguing that he's not two different people are like they look stupid, I think, the whole time. So I'm still
Yeah.
kind of like, this guy's clearly fucked up. Like, how
Yeah.
is nobody saying anything? So it kind of doesn't work in that way if they're trying to like make you not sympathize with him. But
Right.
I also just love Joaquin Phoenix, I think.
Right. Do they make his musical things that he's picturing in his head part of his split personality? Like, oh, all of a sudden he's envisioning this and it's not really happening?
It progresses as it goes on. Like there are first he kind of like ends up, he's in jail and he like goes into a singing class, and so that's where it kind of starts.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it's like a jail
he enters
thing.
a singing class in jail?
Yeah, it's like for the inmates
Okay.
who are well
I've been
behaved. I
seeing
don't want to give too much away,
Yeah.
but that's like how things kind of kick off, and then all of a
That,
sudden
I
he's
think that
singing.
explains enough. Honestly,
Yeah, to me, I'm like, if I'm watching
Yeah.
the Joker movie and all of a sudden he
Now
enters
now he's in an acapella
right.
group.
Yeah, pretty like literally, like he literally. all
He's
of a
going to
sudden is an
Juilliard
acapella
after
group.
this.
Yeah.
Like that would throw me
But
off.
people forget, like Joaquin Phoenix is an excellent performer. He's walked the line, Johnny Cash, so he can really
Yeah,
sing.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
So you know when
yeah.
they do sing in the movie, it's not like it's bad.
Well, I don't
you know?
doubt that it's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know that Lady Gaga and him are so talented that
Yes.
it's going to be good. I think that it's just not the movie that people are
It's definitely not.
expecting
It's
or
definitely not.
want.
That's I feel
Like,
almost
do
like
we
it's my
need-
job to say like this is not it's not a Batman movie. There's no Batman. Like there's
Yeah.
Batman's not in this movie at all.
Yeah.
It's all about, you know, Arthur Fleck, that's his real name as a Joker. Like it's all about him. Like it's not really a you know, he puts the makeup on a little bit, but besides that, it's really not like.
Did
a
you guys
Batman
ever see
movie.
House of Gucci with Lady Gaga?
Yes.
No.
Oh God.
House of Gucci.
I thought this
they
movie
talk like
was
this.
so
They had like a Russian
incredibly.
accent.
Yeah, it was so incredibly.
They could not figure out an accent in that
Yeah.
movie. To
No, they
save their
really
life.
couldn't. And she was so good in Stars Born, and then House of Gucci was not. I didn't see it, but apparently it sucked. And then this one
It was
is not
bad,
that good.
but
and-
again, I don't think it was anyone's fault. Like everyone acted well. I think that like maybe because it's Lady Gaga, and I'm like, that's Lady Gaga acting as someone else. Like maybe I can't take her out.
Yeah.
Because I do think she does a good job. Like she was great in A Star Is Born. They really like, you know, she didn't look like herself. You fall into that character, and she crushed it. But I think everywhere else,
have the one guy who believed in her on these.
right,
So true.
right.
Where was Bradley Cooper
Yeah,
on
you
the
need
set
that
of
one
House of
person
There could be
out of
100 people in a
100.
room
Yep.
and one person, and he
Did you
wasn't
guys
there.
see the clip of Joaquin and Lady Gaga at the premiere? And someone did like a lip reading, and it kind of looks like Joaquin turns to her and goes like, "It's horrible," and she's like laughing, and she's like, "What? Like, no, it's not." And he's like, "The ending is horrible," or something like that.
No, I didn't.
No,
see
I didn't
Yeah,
that.
it's
see
been
that.
circulating on my TikTok.
But I wouldn't be shocked because again, the whole movie was okay, and it really was just like the last 20 minutes that I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like, okay, fine, whatever. But again, I think if you go to see it, have an open mind, but also just know that it is not a superhero movie. It's very much a Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, like
Artsy.
kind of
Yeah.
movie.
This movie's made for freaks like you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love that.
It is. And so I left and I was like, no. And I was looking around, everybody was like, God awful. I was like, I kind of enjoyed
right,
I was like, totally bad. Like, for sure.
I fucking hated it.
I wanted to talk about it for the rest of the night. Like, the different ways. Todd Phillips is a genius. Nobody cared. Everybody was like, go back to
Right.
school, Todd Phillips.
All right, let's get into the rest of the topics for the show. We are going to be talking about the Bravo Kansas City Chiefs Housewives show that is apparently coming, which I don't know why, but we'll talk about that. Kourtney Kardashian, Halloween decor, a little interesting. Obviously, she's got to throw sex into the mix with Halloween.
Always.
Anne Hathaway says that she will be returning for Princess Diaries 3 in a very, very cute video. And Zendaya talked a little bit about Dancing with the Stars, which I thought was interesting just because I forgot Zendaya was on Dancing with the
Me
Stars.
too. I always forget.
And we'll do Weekly Watch Report. That will be with Rone. So let's get into the topics. If you are looking for some energy to pump through your life, look for Proper Wild. There's deliciously juicy energy shots. I have the shots in my hand, blackberry in my hand, and energy gummies that delivers the perfect boost whenever you need to wake up and stay fun. So maybe you woke up Monday morning, you said, I need energy. That's when you can grab a Proper Wild. There's no weird ingredients. It's just good, clean caffeine. Their best-selling flavors are peach mango, their strawberry kiwi I also have in my hand, and blackberry I have in my hand. Gives you 4 to 6 hours of energy, and it's 5 times more caffeine than a shot of espresso. That is a ton of caffeine to get you through the day, the night, whatever it is. And it's 15 times more L-theanine than a cup of green tea. Use code WILD for 30% off at properwild.com. So it has been announced that Bravo will be making a show about the Kansas City Chiefs housewives. Obviously, Brittany Mahomes and Taylor Swift are not going to be on the show. Now, this begs the question, why? Why are they making this? Is the entire show just going to be them talking about Taylor
Yes.
Swift?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 1,000%. It's just
it's
obvious.
annoying, honestly.
It's annoying. That's just like a huge cash grab.
For sure.
They're going to use, I can just see it. And I sent you this tweet, Kelly, but someone on Twitter completely knocked it out of the park with their like summary of it. They're like, they're going to tease every single episode with Taylor's name. They're going to cut it off on some like cliff ender where you think Taylor's going to pop out next episode. And they're just going to constantly use Taylor Swift for views, which is, I guess get that bag, but like
It's a part of it. I think truly I think the Chiefs are in a spot right now where they are, obviously they have their own success and fame. They won the Super Bowl a bunch of times. They have their own people in there. Like it's not all about Taylor Swift, but her being added to the mix kind of sent them on another level.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
I think that all of a sudden all these things are popping up, and whether people want to admit it or not, it has to do with her, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about like a WAGs show. I think that's fun and cool, but the timing is suspect, and it makes me think that they're definitely going to be
and I feel like
using
it
her
shouldn't
for
be
clout a little bit,
Chiefs specific. Like
Right, like, why can't it
they
be
should
all
do
the
like
WAGs?
a fun WAG show?
Yeah, why can't they do...
But do you think that they're going to roll out, like, basically just do what they do with Housewives?
like
where they're gonna
Housewives.
have every team
Honestly,
have a
they
show?
could. That's
They could do that,
They could
yeah.
totally do that.
Yeah.
But I will say this: Taylor Swift is a known fan of Bravo, so I'm not saying that she'll ever go on the show. I don't think she would ever be on that show, but I do think
maybe she'll watch it.
That she would watch it, that she would get involved in it. I think also too, she might be in like the background taking photos, like, you know, pan over and they see her in the back. Like, I think she'd allow something like that.
She gets an EP credit,
right? Like
but
something
that would just
silly.
Be so annoying.
It would be kind of crazy. But you know what? I don't know. This is a whole new world, a whole new life.
Yeah.
Like, I never would have thought that Taylor Swift would be at a fucking football game to begin with,
Yeah,
and
sure.
let alone you know, something like this. So who knows?
When I heard this, I thought that there was potential that Brittany Mahomes would do it. I'm like,
sure.
Well, you know what? She might be doing this.
Definitely.
But now with her newfound friendship with Taylor, I could see her wanting a little bit more privacy rather than going right into a new show. Like, I feel like she's been a little bit more.
She's been a little bit more low key after the whole.
Right.
She was kind of poking the bear a little bit with politics.
Right.
And I think since then I haven't even seen her since
Yeah.
then. Like she's where if she's at the
It
stadium,
feels like she's
for
like
games,
went into like being like a little
bit
bit
of
more
a low key
yeah,
mode.
totally,
Yeah.
which I completely understand. Like whatever kind of feedback she received from that, positive or negative, I can't imagine. I'm sure it was overwhelming. You know what I mean? So, and you know, they've got kids. She's pregnant again.
Yeah.
People forget she's pregnant.
And even her past prior years when it was her and Jackson
Yeah.
always
She's
screaming
just-
and
she just
yelling.
always
Annoying,
kinda
spraying
gets
cold
herself
champagne on everyone in the middle of
into
winter.
shit.
Right,
People don't forget
People
that.
are upset about that. And I feel like now maybe she's got a little lesson from Tree Pain. Maybe she stepped in and was like, Brittany, here's a class.
Baby girl, let's get on board here. Let's figure it out.
So I was when I first heard this, I thought maybe Brittany Mahomes would do it, but now that it's not Brittany, it's definitely not going to be Taylor. I'm like, okay, I see them dipping their toes. I just thought maybe they would have done like a collective, not just Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe what about the 49ers? You got Olivia Culpo,
Exactly.
Olivia
Girl who makes
Culpo
the
did
clothes.
Olivia Culpo did the reality
sister
show, The
show.
Sisters.
Yeah.
So why not just make that into like Wags, like kind of transfer that into that?
No,
Did people
I
like
agree
that show
completely.
when it was on? The Culpo Sister show? I never watched it, to be honest.
I
But not
didn't-
for any reason. I just didn't watch it.
I didn't watch. I'm sure there are people who did like it and watch, but I didn't watch it.
I'm just confused about like what the drama is gonna be. Like, what's the drama?
They'll make
of
all
being
kinds
a
of, you know,
wag?
it'll be like, we're
your
going to be
boyfriend
late. What are we going
lost?
to wear? Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh,
These
my
guys-
husband lost his game.
It's
Oh,
similar though.
we
to-
didn't get invited to Taylor Swift's birthday.
Yeah,
Right.
Like these.
Well, is Taylor going to be there? It'll be a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're meeting up with Taylor after this.
The
Like, it'll be a lot
wives
of
are gonna have
slide
to
in,
know that like
first
the
name
show's
Taylor.
not gonna be about them. It's gonna be about Taylor, even though she's not even gonna be in it. Which like if
Chiefs
I
part
was
of it
one
makes
of the
me
wives,
think
I'd be like,
that.
I don't want to do it if I have to talk about her all the time.
Maybe
like, the show's
maybe
about
they'll do
us.
the opposite. Maybe they'll start it open and be like, hey, Taylor Swift's not going to be on this show.
Disclaimer.
And you got to learn about us. And so
Right.
here we are. And
Yeah.
you know, get used to it. Like maybe they'll face it head on, which I think would be smart.
Maybe they're in a mode where they're like, why does nobody care about us? It's
be.
our time to shine.
Could be. Be like, you know, we walked so she could run. Pay
Right.
attention to us.
Right.
I would be down with that. Like I would be like, all right, this is good. But I completely agree with both of you in the way that I don't know why it has to be Chiefs specific. I do think the Chiefs right now are just whatever PR team they've got going on. They've got that fake Hallmark movie coming out with the Chiefs, like that's like filmed at Arrowhead and like all that other shit. And then what else? They have like a book coming out too, like one of those kids books. Another one.
Oh, I don't know.
They're like pumping out those kids books, the like golden books. They made one about
Oh,
the Kelsey brothers,
with the Kelsey
Taylor
brothers.
Swift one I have on my desk. They have like a Chiefs one now too.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
They recently did an interview with moms of famous
Oh my god, the
children.
Vanity Fair cover or whatever.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Donna Kelsey.
Yeah, she was getting a lot of heat for being in that.
Yeah, what did you guys think about that?
I'm not surprised at all. We over at Taylor Watch understand that Donna Kelsey loves a press op.
She loves a press moment.
She loves
she
a press
loves a
moment.
moment
I
to
went
talk.
through a phase.
She never says no.
I went through a phase where I was big on like Donna Kelsey's a clout chaser.
Oh, yeah. We went through the same
Let me tell
phase.
you,
We went through the same
this was
phase.
before. This was when the Chiefs.
She's
won.
always been like this.
She's always been,
yeah,
yeah.
and
She loves a moment, and that's fine.
This was
She's unapologetic.
This was the Super Bowl before Taylor and Travis started dating.
the first one, the Chiefs, the Eagles one.
Yeah,
right?
Eagles versus Chiefs, and they won. And I started saying Donna Kelsey's a clout chaser. She's doing all these like kind bar ads, and people did not like that. They were not a fan
They
of
didn't
that
like it when we
take.
did it either.
I was joking around,
Yep.
and I thought
Yeah.
that people would have laughed. Now that we've entered this mode, they definitely won't find it funny. Do I think Donna Kelsey, like you said, loves a press up?
She loves a
She
press moment.
absolutely
She loves press
does.
up. But that's what I'm saying. Like we're making
Sweet
jokes, we're
woman.
laughing.
Yes.
Very sweet woman. We're making jokes, we're laughing. But I think that she would laugh at that too because she literally never says no to a press opportunity.
I mean,
she loves doing
she
it.
was
She's
on the
booked and
red
busy.
carpet for grotesquerie for Travis, answering questions about the show. It's just so funny to me.
She loves it.
And you know, honestly,
Donna Kelsey, that fame whore.
I know, but
No,
here's-
people are
she's
going to get upset
obsessed
that I
with
said
fame.
that.
No,
They're
she's
gonna get
but
upset.
here's the
with
thing,
fame.
like,
But I think she would laugh. Like she's sarcastic
it is
and
funny,
funny.
yeah, and
And she obviously is very sweet and cares about her
Yes, of
kids
course.
and is a fantastic mom. So
she
it's
got,
fun to joke
she
about.
got a lot of shit for being doing that. Was it Glamour magazine? I think, or what was the publication that did the interview?
The one that they just did.
one that just
I
did.
thought it was
doesn't
Vanity
really-
Fair.
Let me look.
Vanity Fair.
It's Vanity
Yeah.
Fair, I think. But let me double check.
But a lot of people were saying like, you know, these other three women raised like these ultimate pop stars, child stars that went through all this stuff, blah blah blah. Like Donna Kelsey raised two of the best football players of all time.
I know.
Like if not,
And good
two
men.
Hall of Famers, two great guys, two guys who like are so good with their family, like so good
Glamour,
in the
it's
press.
Glamour.
They're
Oh, sorry,
like,
Glamour,
Yeah.
not Vanity
they
Fair.
donate a lot of money. They just seem like very like wholesome people. Like that.
It sounds like the Kelsey family is like paying you to say it.
No, but it's true.
Well,
You're
it's
right.
just
You're
like-
absolutely right in this. Like she's
Donna
not. She's
deserves
nothing.
a little press moment. Like
she's nothing to
she-
sneeze at.
She
Like,
literally
she-
had to
yeah.
put her two boys through like the whole fucking football process. Watch Travis like get kicked out of school, like all that stuff, and then so she gets to go on the red carpet, do a
Right.
little interview, talk
Yeah.
about her Pinot Grigio and her hot dogs.
Absolutely.
Like, hell yeah.
Right.
Also, if anyone wants to like, or if you're looking for advice from anyone on being a mom, Donna Kelsey's a good person to
Yeah,
ask. Like
yeah.
she clearly has raised two good men, respectable people.
And that's hard to do.
You know, successful, hardworking, whatever. And I think, so this one, we'll give her this one. This is her moment to shine. She deserves to be on the cover of
Yeah,
like
I
Moms of the
agree.
Year.
No,
Go
and
magazine.
I totally agree with everything you said. I think just because somebody raised a pop star, obviously that takes a lot as well. But there is
Totally.
something about raising two athletes.
Yeah,
that
totally.
It is so much work, even
Oh, yeah.
starting from a
Money.
young age, a
Yeah.
lot of money, a
Yeah.
lot of time. You basically give up your life for
Absolutely.
your child
Yeah.
to be able to pursue their dreams, their goals, and this sport. So I think absolutely she deserves credit, and it's all fun and games
Oh,
joking
Donna.
about her.
Of
love
course.
And
it.
it's not
But
even Donna
she-
too. Like Ed is right there with her. Like
Yeah,
Ed
it's
has
right
his
there.
own podcast. Like
Right. Oh no,
yeah.
Ed. Well, no. Ed is more than Donna. Like
Yeah.
Ed is always on Facebook making statuses. He's always like being so crazy, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But I truly believe that Donna Kelsey would laugh at these jokes because every time she is interviewed or something, she's like, she gives a little sarcastic answer. Like she says stuff about Taylor. They'll be like, "Oh, how's Taylor?" And she's like, "I don't know. We're barely getting to know each other." Like she'll say stuff like that all the time, and I think it's funny intentionally. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that she's stiff about it in any way.
She's a funny lady.
Yeah, and I think it's funny to joke around about, but obviously give her the
Absolutely.
credit that she deserves.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Moving on, Kourtney Kardashian obviously had to sex up her Halloween decor, making her skeletons in sex positions on her lawn. Now, I just don't understand why. I just don't get it.
No one
like, I
knows
feel
why.
like, listen, Kourtney, we get it. You and Travis, fuck. We understand at this point. Like, I feel like that was like a big thing in the beginning. It's like their sexual chemistry is off the charts, and
Right.
that is fantastic. I'm all for
That's great.
wonderful sexual chemistry, but we get it. We got it at this point. Not everything has to be sexually related, especially when it comes to Halloween, which is a child's holiday.
Exactly.
You know what I
Also,
mean? Like it
here's
is
the
very
thing.
much
Yeah,
like
I don't want to
Yeah.
be like a prude, like, oh, like sex position, oh my God.
No.
But like,
No.
you know, you're probably gonna have kids going up
You
to
got
your house,
trick-or-treaters coming up, and
trick-or-treating.
you've
They're
got
gonna be like, Mommy,
skeletons fucking on the
what?"
on the lawn.
Yeah.
Tell me this: if Kourtney and Travis are your parents, are you like embarrassed that they
Yes.
are obsessed with sex and they can't stop talking about sex and they're putting sex, skeletons on
People
the lawn?
comment
I think
on
I'm
TikToks
embarrassed
all the time, being like, "There's a reason why like Mason and Penelope don't want to be at their
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I think
like
if
it's just like overly. It's like okay, we get it. Like I don't know. I just
yeah,
right.
especially with their kids.
I'm just thinking about like if my parents were to be so openly like
My
Parents
like
kiss, and I'm like, oh
no, like right. My parents are
whoa.
so like lovey-dovey, and I love that because
Yeah.
I find it to be a great example of love. But
Totally,
they're
and
not
it's
like
sweet and
overly
mature.
and like I'm not one to shy away from a sexual joke. Everybody knows that. I love a good sexual innuendo. I love a good sexual joke. But I also think that like there's also a line where you do not need to have your skeletons
like
fucking
it
on the
would
lawn.
be maybe be funny if they had like a little skeleton like diorama in the house, like in their room. Like that's funny. Like skeletons.
Or if they were hosting an adult party,
giant blow up.
Right, a one night adult party. All the parents are coming and it's on the lawn.
Like sexy Halloween
take it down
party,
the next
parents
day.
only, whatever.
Totally.
But yeah,
agree.
a 500-foot fucking blow up skeleton for everyone to see is just a little disgusting.
And it's
distasteful.
honestly
Yeah,
distasteful.
Yeah.
Distasteful is the word for
Just
it.
like I can't
They
imagine
love
like a
to
little
shock,
kid.
though. I feel like that's Kourtney's whole
Yeah,
thing.
they like to shock.
She's like,
Just
stop, don't give me attention, don't do anything. But also, here's skeletons fucking on my front yard. It's like, tell us what you want, girl. Do you want us to pay attention to you, or you want us to leave you alone? Because right now, it looks like you want us to talk about you and not to leave you alone.
The way that Kourtney Kardashian has acted with Travis Barker was that she truly was having the worst sex of her entire life until this man.
Yeah.
Like the way that it's always like about like tongue kissing with them and like
it's so,
sex
like,
with them.
it's
It's
so
like
graphic.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it's
just
just
like
so,
like I'm so happy for her, but clearly you were not getting it before this.
Right.
It's become very apparent.
It's giving like baby's first time having sex. Like it's just that's the
first boyfriend.
It's like act like you've been there before.
I will say, out of all of the sex positions to choose, this was the most PG. I thought.
I
it does
do
kind of
agree.
look like they're hugging.
I do
sitting on a
agree.
lap,
It's
you
not
know?
doggy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like imagine one
Although I
skeleton
thought the one I
bent
saw
over.
was
That would be
doggy.
crazy. Yeah.
I think the one I saw was doggy.
Really? I just saw
Kourtney
one where
Kardashian Halloween
she's like,
decorations.
where
I
like
gotta look at it
I'm
again.
assuming it's a girl skeleton is sitting on top
Oh,
of
no,
it.
just
Yeah,
kidding,
that's
just
the one
kidding.
I saw.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
the one I
just
saw.
kidding. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
that
that one.
yeah,
So like,
yeah.
if little kids were like, "Mommy, like, what is that?"
It's also
They could be
like,
like,
I
they're
guess
hugging.
See, but it's like I don't. Yeah.
it's straddling. Maybe they're
straddling,
not.
yeah.
Maybe
The
it's not
hands-
fornication.
the hands on
but
the
the
face,
hands.
yeah.
Hands on the face and these hands back. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
They're those are skeletons that are fucking.
Yeah. That's very clear.
Yeah,
It's
at
very
least it's
clear.
not like the
like
the
doggy
skeletons are
or
like in
like-
reverse.
yeah.
Like,
Right, that would be too
like,
much. That would be
every
too
day
much.
is a new position, like Sabrina Carpenter's doing
That-
on stage.
Like,
right.
in another world, maybe for something else that would be funny. But yeah, I don't know. I think
Like if
Yeah.
I had
for
that,
Halloween
say
is-
I had a house, me as myself currently, no kids, no husband, nothing.
Yeah.
And I have skeletons having sex on my front yard. Would anybody be surprised? Probably not. But I also don't think I would ever do that.
I would
think
just
I'd be
find
like,
it
there's kids
weird
around.
that you would be doing that when kids are walking around.
That's what I mean.
In your
Yeah.
own home when you don't have
Inside
kids,
your house, yeah.
and you have skeletons doing that. Fine, whatever. Get freaky with
There's
it.
a lot of nudity on my walls.
Exactly.
In my house. That's true.
It is
But
true.
but kids don't come in there.
right. You're not having kids in your home.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be putting skeletons on your front lawn
No.
when you know kids are walking around trick or treating. That would
bizarre.
be weird on
And
your
they-
part.
absolutely it would.
It would be
Absolutely
even
it
more
would.
weird that you have no kids and you're doing that.
Absolutely, it would. And also, too, I think like they live in a family-oriented neighborhood. It's not like they live in like
Yeah.
I don't know. The kids thing, the trick or treaters,
It's
like
the
all
kids.
that idea of
It's
it.
for the kids, Vince.
for the kids.
It's for the kids. Yeah, it's for the kids.
But
man.
the children love the books.
It's wild. I don't know. I mean,
It's too much for me.
She just, Kelly, like you said, like I feel like she's always like, I don't want to be famous, like I don't want this, I don't want that, and then she does crazy shit like this, and it's like, all right, well, what
It's
do you
like, what are we
what do you
doing
expect
here?
us to do? Not talk
and
about this?
I can also see like if you guys watch the Kardashians, there's a lot of times where they will insinuate that they don't like letting their kids stay at Kourtney's house.
Yeah.
Like Chloe will insinuate
yeah,
it. Kim
like-
will
I don't,
insinuate it's
I
like,
don't blame them at all with this.
They don't eat candy. They eat like sugar-free, everything, gluten-free.
Right, the food is one thing, but I think
Yeah.
it's more, it's more the energy of the place, and
Yeah,
it's
Penelope
not
was
again,
like
it's
slapping
not
her
like
babysitter.
I don't want it to come across like I'm like, oh, kids can't be exposed to sex and stuff, but there is no need for it to be so overt. I think
Yeah.
Like, they don't need to know about. I don't know. They don't need to be like. They don't need to be introduced to like a perverted sense of humor.
Yeah.
So young.
we
Yeah.
don't need to taint Halloween.
No.
Yeah.
Let
Like,
Halloween
it-
be for kids.
Yeah,
Halloween
It's
can
for the
also
kids.
already be scary.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you know?
Don't scare them with sex.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
exactly. Now they're
Don't,
gonna.
don't
It's
do
a whole
that.
thing.
I know. That's if you're too.
That's
if you're
how
too
children
aggressive
get
about
pregnant.
Sex,
That's how teen pregnancy starts.
It is. It
Thanks a
is.
lot, Kourtney.
or the other way around, or these kids will never have sex again because they're scarred. All they think about is their parents having sex forever, and now they're sexually confused for the rest of their life.
right.
Gosh.
I'm telling you.
Oh God. Moving on to something a little bit lighter. Anne Hathaway made a cute video with the announcement of Princess Diaries
So
3.
exciting.
I think we knew that this was in the works, but to get the confirmation from Anne Hathaway's face herself, she did 1, then she did 2, and then she did 3. And I am so
good.
fucking excited
So
for this.
Me too.
I love the Princess Diaries. I mean, we were just talking about the Princess Diaries last week on our episode Noah, and Noah was confusing it with The Sound of Music.
Yeah, people were like, that was. I was like,
Julie
Andrews, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I love the scene on the mountain or whatever.
And in my head,
I love in Princess Diaries when they're fleeing.
yeah, in my head, I was
When they're
thinking of
fleeing
like
Germany.
Yeah, it's crazy.
when they're running around like in San Diego or San Francisco,
yeah.
on the hills, and I was like, oh, is that what he's referring to? No,
Yeah.
he was referring to
I
the
haven't
Sound of
seen
Music.
either, to be fair.
That's
You
crazy.
you
So
haven't
you just
seen
have
either?
you just have Julie
Oh,
Andrews
shit.
like in your brain, I guess.
Yeah.
Princess Diaries has to be. I honestly think Princess
fantastic.
Diaries 2 is better than Princess Diaries 1.
I agree.
but they have to
I
be
have to
up
watch
there
both.
for top, like 20 favorite of my movies of all time, no
They-
doubt.
Oh god,
Just
they're
like
seriously the best.
so comforting, heartwarming. Chris
Truly.
Pine is so
Oh,
cute.
yeah.
Second
Sexy,
one,
sexy.
suave. Ooh, it's funny.
Oh, it is
Julie
funny.
Andrews just and when the Queen. Oh, it's like the eagle
Yeah, yeah.
has flown for the last time.
The Queen is coming. That's it.
Julie Andrews should have been the queen of
Yeah.
the world.
Oh, of the
Oh, yeah.
world, absolutely.
like in
Absolutely.
general. That's why we talked about
grow up high
it, 'cause
school.
I wonder if she to grow up high school. I wonder if she like I'm sure she met the Queen for real. You know
It
what
was
I mean?
Julie
Like
Andrews'
I'm
Elizabeth.
glad that they
birthday
could do
last
it
week.
before.
That's why we brought it up.
How old is she?
Queen Lizzie or Julie Andrews?
It was Julie Andrews' birthday
Oh,
last
oh,
week, which
yeah.
is why we were talking about it in the
Oh,
first
she's
place.
Do you know how
fantastic.
old she turned? Andrew's age.
Old,
She's
for sure.
89.
Oh, just like my
Holy
grandpa.
Oh my
My grandpa's
god.
birthday was. Oh
my God, happy
this
birthday.
Past,
Wait,
this
have we
past
seen
weekend,
her
and he turned 89.
around? Like, has she been around Julie Andrews?
No,
Like,
but I've heard her voice.
she looks.
in Bridgerton.
She looks
She's still doing
good.
the Bridgerton voiceovers.
She kind of looks like my grandma.
Totally. She definitely.
Mima
she
a
actually
little
does
bit.
look like Mima.
Yeah.
You know what? Kudos to Anne for being booked and busy.
Yeah, big
She's
time.
got Devil Wears Prada 2
Too,
coming out as well. So she's
I'm here
just,
for the Anne Hathaway
she's-
Renaissance.
Me too. She's dipping her nostalgia pen into all of our favorites, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Anne Hathaway.
As am I. Always have been.
Did she ends up with the jerk off in that too, right? Adrian Brody.
No,
Does
I
she-
think
do
that
they end up together at the end?
they,
They
like,
do,
see-
No,
right?
not Adrian Brody, Adrian Grenier.
Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
It's
Sorry,
called
Adrian
Vince.
I
Brody.
think
Yeah.
they see each
Yeah,
other.
Vinny Chase.
Yeah, Vinny
Vinny
Chase.
Chase. They run into each other at the
Yeah, like a
restaurant
cafe
or
at the
whatever. And I
end,
think they
right?
probably. I think it's
I hope that they're not
implied that maybe
together
they were
in the
getting another
second
drink,
one.
but I hope not to.
No,
Like,
because he was a
weak
douchebag.
man.
He didn't deserve her.
Yeah.
He didn't deserve.
He didn't
deserved
understand
it.
deserve her at all.
fashion.
No, he
didn't
didn't understand the art.
Exactly.
Not even that. He didn't understand a woman trying to propel her career.
Exactly.
He was
Wasn't he like a
upset.
stay-at-home like in that movie?
He was like a chef at home making
Yeah.
grilled cheese
Yeah.
and spending $25 on cheese. And it's like, we're poor here. And I'm trying to make a name for us. I'm Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway.
she's
I'm trying to
like-
make a name for us over here in the fashion world. And you don't give a shit.
You don't
You're
even
too
know what
busy in
chartreuse
Boston.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he
It's
felt
embarrassing.
like emasculated by Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway,
yeah.
which is such
Yeah.
a turn off.
Pussy shit.
Yeah.
Such
I
a
hate
turn
that.
off.
You know I hate that.
I hate that so much.
Me too.
Okay, last topic. Zendaya talked about Dancing with the Stars. I will read her quote. Now, it's no secret that obviously Zendaya is not spending her time watching Dancing with the Stars, so I do not know why people are upset about this quote, but she said, I have not watched Dancing with the Stars since I was on. I didn't really watch Dancing with the Stars before I was on the show. I don't think I was the target demographic. My grandma loves Dancing with the Stars. That's her bag. But
Okay,
yeah,
that's kind of a dig at Dancing with the Stars.
well,
and I don't
that's why
appreciate
people.
that.
She said, but yeah, I also think it was a very stressful experience. I was like, I don't think
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching anymore. Now, people were a little bit like, hey, we're all watching Dancing with the Stars, all
Yeah, I'm
ages
not a
right
grandma.
now. People
Right.
think that Dancing with the Stars is a grandparent show, which obviously it does hit that demographic.
totally.
But now with the people that they are having on these shows,
Yeah.
it does reach our audience.
I was gonna say maybe like 10 years ago or 5 years ago, I would put Dancing with the Stars as maybe an older show, like
Yeah.
for older people. But yeah, I feel like now they put on people that I don't even know who they are. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? He's an influencer, whatever.
Right.
Like I didn't really know who. Oh God, I forget her name. She got kicked off. She was like the scammer.
Anna Delvey.
Oh, Anna
Yeah, like I
Delvey.
didn't really
Yeah,
know
yeah.
who Anna Delvey was that
Oh, I
much
knew all about
until she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Well, they made that show Inventing Anna, which was about her like.
Yeah, she's like, I will give you the check.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
get,
yeah,
I'll get
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'll wire you the transfer.
Her lore. Well, I love Anna Delvey. We talked about her last time.
Yeah.
Last time we were chatting. I love her a lot. But I just because I like her lore, I think Dancing with the Stars has become like the only like family show right now. Like your whole family watches it. Like I watch it. You know, my younger sibling, my parents, my grandparents. Like it's kind of now in that realm, similar to like how American Idol used to be, where everybody would watch American Idol.
Yeah.
Now everybody watches Dancing with the Stars. I'll say this about Zendaya. I fucking love her. Love. She never misses an outfit. She is an excellent actress. Like I'm obsessed with her in every way.
absolutely
She-
stunning goddess.
So stunning goddess. She thinks a lot of things are corny. Like I feel like every time she has a quote about a show or something, whatever, she like basically says like, that's corny. That's not my shit. Like I think is not someone to like, like I wouldn't ask Zendaya for like movie or book or like TV show recommendations. Like she's busy, you know what I mean? And she kind of like, that's her tone, and that is usually her tone with things, I've noticed.
I don't really hear Zendaya talking much about.
She doesn't. That's why when she does, it's like, oh, okay. Like it always
Whenever I hear
sounds
Zendaya
like she's talking shit,
or I
but she's
see a
not.
video of Zendaya, I'm like, she's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Like anytime I see anything of Zendaya, I'm like,
Seeing
she's so
her
cool.
say that, I bet would be cool. I bet would be like, yeah, fuck Dancing with the Stars. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of like, it's definitely in a cool way, but she's too cool. She's too cool.
Yeah, I just don't really see her talking about things much, and I can't see why she would watch Dancing with the Stars now.
I feel like a lot
Anyway.
of people have like trauma from it. Like they don't realize how
Also
like
could be
hard
that.
it is.
So many
So,
people
yeah.
have talked about how hard Dancing with the Stars was for
Yeah.
them, like how like grueling the experience was, the
Like
training, like
6-hour training days, like for every day. I think.
and people sometimes walk away with loving it, and other people
Yeah.
like walk away being like, I had a horrible experience. I hated my partner. So that could also
you
be
have to
it too.
deal with like the public and like
Also, yeah, I mean, she was on, how long ago was she on? Like a million years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It
she
was a
young.
long
She-
time
it was
ago.
like
she young
I think
when
it
she
was right
on.
after like it was like right after like Shake It Off or Shake It
sure.
Off. What's it called?
Shake It Up.
Shake It Up.
Sorry, Shake It Up.
Up.
Shake It Up was ended, I think,
It
because she
did.
was still doing like I think she was still doing like Casey Undercover, which is another Disney show that she did, or Disney
She was
movie that
definitely
she did.
super young when she did it, and
Yeah.
I think it
she was
probably
16 when she
Yeah.
did it.
Oh,
she
that's-
was like one of the
what?
first like
Oh my
dancers
God.
to go on Dancing with the Stars, like legit.
16.
People were like pissed when she went on because people were like, she's a dancer.
Right.
Meanwhile, she
I remember
like, only knew
that.
how to like
Did
really
Zendaya
like pop,
become,
lock,
like-
and drop it.
A-list. But like she wasn't like an A-list star at that point, right?
No, she wasn't.
'Cause I
She
feel like she kinda
1,000%
just, like-
was not.
Do you guys think Euphoria? Or do you think it was before that?
No, I think it was before
No, it was
Euphoria. I think it
1,000%
was
before Euphoria.
that she was A-list?
Yeah.
No. Oh no, I don't think till in Euphoria she became.
That's what I'm
A-list.
saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what else? She was obviously always famous with Disney
Spider-Man.
channels and stuff.
Would that be
Spider-Man.
But she
yeah.
did play a huge role in the first two.
When did
well,
the
the
first-
second
She was
one
in
she
The
did,
Greatest
but-
Showman.
Yeah, when did the
But
Greatest
didn't they
Showman
all come out at the
though?
same time?
Spider-Man was in 2017. The Greatest Showman was in 2017.
When was the
Spider-Man
first
Far
series?
From Home 2019.
Yeah, she
Euphoria
was
was
in
what,
that one way
2019?
more. She wasn't in the first Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, 2019.
And then Spider-Man, 2021. So there were a couple Spider-Mans before
Yeah.
Euphoria.
I think she was definitely a star. I think that Euphoria showed us what like a true actress she really is. Like I think those other movies were kind of like, oh whatever, like yeah, she can dance and sing in The Greatest Showman, or
2019
yeah,
is when
she could be
Euphoria
Mary
came
Jane.
out.
But
I
Euphoria
also
was
think-
like she's an actress.
Yeah, I think Euphoria
you know?
cemented her as
Yeah.
like she can really act beyond,
Totally.
the kids show or Spider-Man, whatever.
Totally.
I think that people loved Zendaya before Euphoria, though.
Yeah,
in terms of like
definitely.
fashion.
Yes.
Like I think
Yeah.
she started to become like a fashion icon. People were like, "Oh my god, she could be a model."
Yeah.
In that way, before it was like
That's when she started
She was
working.
like,
A-list
also like
actress.
had a
Started
little
working
bit
with
of
La
a singing
Roche.
career.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
had like that one song that was good.
I don't remember it. She has a song too with Labyrinth and Euphoria.
I never felt
Which is a great
so
song.
alone.
No, yeah, she started working
Oh,
with La Roche and then her whole
Replay.
life
You guys know
changed.
Replay?
Yes, yeah.
I forget how it goes though.
I remember when that was popular though.
You gotta go, play me everywhere you
Yeah,
go.
I remember
Oh,
that song.
But you on
I
repeat.
like, don't really remember it. I'll
Yeah.
listen to it later.
Yeah, so she definitely
I, don't know,
had
I just
like
think she's kind of. I think she's like. She's just too cool. She like is too cool. It's not
She
that
is
she's acting
too
too
cool for
cool.
Dancing
She
with
just
Stars,
like
yeah.
is too cool for everything. you
Yeah,
know? Like
I
she's
can't-
she's amazing.
I can't ever imagine like going on a reality show and then like sitting down and being like, I want to like rewatch myself on this
No,
show.
I would never.
Like, but she was so good, so maybe she would want to rewatch. She's like, I
16
fucking
though.
But
crushed
you're
it.
also
16 is
so
so
young.
young.
Like now
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
so much
Oof.
older and watch. She's probably like, I don't want to watch myself.
She
this
I
didn't
would
win,
season.
not
did
want to.
Did she?
No,
win?
she got to the
No,
finale, but she
was
lost.
second. She lost
Yeah.
like some.
Oh my God,
Kelly
even that
Pickler,
would-
Kelly Pickler and Derek Huff. I think.
Really?
It was.
Oh,
the
tough.
fucking Huffs have taken over
Say the
Dancing with the
Huffs.
Stars, and I'm over
They're the
it.
best dancers in
I'm
the
over
world.
with the Huffs.
They're the best
Like,
dancers
I
in the
just
world. Like
can't.
I don't know a duo that's a better dancer than the Huffs. Like they're so good.
But
Like, they
Julianne,
just-
like I like Julianne. It's Derek that kind of pisses me off.
I
Derek
love
always
Derek.
has snide
He's not even
comments
on
to make to the
anymore.
dancers. I'm like, Derek, like get away.
Derek's
you
a
Huff.
judge.
Oh, he's a judge?
Yeah.
That's why it's Huff
and
takeover
Julianne's
now.
like a
Oh.
Julianne's
she
a
does like a
host.
side host.
Okay, I was gonna say if one of them was a dancer and one was a judge, that would be
No,
No, Julianne's
No,
the
Julianne's
host,
the host
and
with-
Derek is
Yeah,
the
it's
so
judge.
it's their
with
show.
Alfonso.
Derek replaced Len Goodman, which is like a fucking big role to take on, and I don't think he's
huge.
doing a good job.
Who would
Well,
you?
they put Bruno in his seat. I think
He's just
Bruno
a hater.
is like the.
Derek, he's
He
a
does.
big time
He-
hater.
Well, he's like,
Yeah, I feel like
you need a Simon.
He is the Simon. He's definitely the Simon.
He's giving like the old dude a 4 on the first fucking round. Like, Derek, fuck off.
He's not there to fuck around.
Give
He's
this
not,
guy a fucking...
He's not there for his sympathy vote.
No, but that's why people don't like American Idol anymore, because it's like, oh, I just want to see everyone get complimented.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love that he's giving them 4s.
Yeah,
because it's like, you know
Derek
what? Here's the thing. Not everyone deserves a fucking medal. I don't care that just because you're old, you deserve a 10.
But a 4, like, this guy put his heart and soul into this dance.
I root for the
oldies. A 5 is good enough.
I root for the oldies, trust me, because I'm like, oh, they get me in my heart and my soul, and I'm rooting for them.
Always.
So cute.
And
Eric
like,
Roberts
they're so cute, and you root for them, but it's like, man, that was a 4.
Yeah.
It's like, you're old.
Like,
you can't move those hips. Like, what's her face over
like,
here?
We all know he's not going to make it. But I guess, like, you kind of do have to... The fan vote changes a lot for Dancing with the Stars now, because, like, I feel like Harry Jowsey made it so far, and he sucked last year.
Yeah.
But
the fans have all the power.
And I'm just over the huffs.
Yeah. And they've taken away the judge save,
which is crazy. Like, that's... I
didn't
can't
realize
imagine.
they did that.
Like, I feel like that one girl who's on it now, I forget her name too. She's another one that I didn't know who she was. She's like another Disney girl who's so good. Chandler, yeah.
I love her. She's from Pretty Little Liars.
Like, I wonder if
Sin.
she will get enough like fan votes to push her to the end. She's like the best though.
Well,
but
I need
feel
to
like
start
a lot of
voting
people
because
don't
I
know
love her. She is a dancer too. She was a dancer in real life.
I do think the dancers that are really fucking good do end up getting voted for.
Yeah, because they're just so good.
Because they're just so good. Like, there's obviously going to be the ones that make it far just because they have fans voting for them. But I do think, like, if you're really fucking good, you have the grandmas at home going.
That's so true.
It's kind of unfair, a little bit.
The fan vote,
like
I
Charlie
said the fan vote is, like,
D'Amelio and Chandler and Zendaya, like, they have 10 steps ahead of you already. But I guess
that's
the
like
name
Eric
of the game.
Roberts. Eric Roberts, he's 1,000 years old. He wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars 25 years ago or whatever he says. And they finally let him on. He's an old man. And they're going to let him. He's getting 4s. They're letting him push through, whatever. But you know that, like, I think if I'm him, I wish that I was just on 25 years ago. Because now I'm an old man on the show. I can't move like I used to. And I'm getting, like, pity votes, low-key.
Right. Like, and you're like, oh, wait, everyone just is voting for me because I'm cute and they feel sorry
and I'm
for
old.
me.
Right. And
not because I'm rocking it.
Yeah. Like, I think I would just not want to be on.
Yeah. Oh, well, he's fulfilling his dreams.
He is fulfilling his dreams.
That's
and if he feels good about it, who am I?
Yeah, I'm happy for him. All right,
true.
that wraps up today's topics. Everybody follow Kelly Keegs and Gia. Do you guys want to say where you guys can follow you? Gia, you love posting on TikTok. You're big on TikTok.
I'm big.
TikTok
I'm huge on TikTok. Just Gia.Mariano on TikTok and Instagram.
Kelly?
I'm Kelly Keegs everywhere. Kelly Keegs on Instagram. Taylor Watch is that's our best thing ever. Gia is so good with Taylor Watch. She does all the editing and all the social clips, and she fucking rocks it. So TikTok especially, I think, is our best.
So right now in the season of the Chiefs and Taylor Swift, go follow and watch Taylor Watch because you will be getting it all. Thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thanks
for having us.
If you are hitting a slump in your week or a slump in your day, then grab a Proper Wild. They have these energy shots I'm holding in my hand. I have the strawberry kiwi, blackberry. These are 2 of the best flavors, and the peach mango. And these shots will get you through the day. They have 4 to 6 hours of energy to give you, and it's 5 times more caffeine than a shot of espresso. So that will pump you up to get you through the slump of the week, the slump of the night, the slump of the day. Whatever time you are looking for that extra boost of energy, you could take a Proper Wild shot, or they have their energy gummies that deliver the perfect boost that you need in your life. So use code WILD for 30% off at properwild.com. Once again, use code WILD for 30% off at properwild.com. All right, guys, we are here with Rone. Welcome back, Rone. For all the OG Chicks listeners, they may know you from a very popular segment we once had, Dicks in the Office.
Yes, we had a glorious 3-episode run. It came, not screeching to a halt, but it's just time to pick things up. You know, things have a reason for going away and a reason for coming back.
Exactly. It was monumental and it had its moment, but unfortunately, we did have somebody else that was a part of it that, made things, a little dicey, a little spicy, and I don't know if the world was ready for that yet.
We burned bright. We burned really bright for a very short amount of time, and
and now you're back.
We're like a comet that comes back every 5 years.
Exactly. That's beautiful. Rone also hosts Son of a Boy Dad that comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Lil Sass and Francis.
Yes,
right?
Correct.
And Wednesdays, the Pat Bev podcast with Rone. You guys talk basketball. Pat Bev, he is in Israel right now.
Exciting stuff.
Very. You guys are talking over Zoom now.
Yeah, it's like tumultuous. It's war. It's
right. But you guys are still doing it. You're still doing
he's doing really well. He's thriving, and he's the most positive guy ever. So that's always the type of person you want to have on your team or in a, if you're doing a podcast or in a war zone.
Exactly.
Type of guy you want to have around.
So Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you guys can listen to Rone because he has an episode of something coming out one of those days.
At all times.
Yes.
And can I just congratulate you guys on your massive success?
Oh my God, thank you so much.
You guys have been fucking crushing it recently.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
Sold out
that.
shows, topping the charts, massive guests. You got to feel pretty jazzed about it.
Oh, well, I'm very excited, but we like to keep it humble on this podcast as usual. We did the Humble Fans tour. You
guys are humble as fuck, but just for one moment, just consider the upside of where you guys have been and where you're going. What's like a 5-year Chicks in the Office plan? Like, where you guys? What's the goal?
I think for Fran and I, we both have continuously said the same thing every year, and it's worked out for us. Where we just want to continue doing this show and making it better and better each year. It's like I wouldn't say there's one thing in 5 years that we definitely want to happen or definitely want to do. I think when I first started, it was like, oh, a TV show would be so cool, right? Like, oh my God, having a TV show talk show on E, like how the Lady Gang, they ended up having their podcast on E for a little bit. But now you realize that that's changed. People love to consume things online. So if we continue to just be a big presence online, then I think our show will continue to grow. So I'd love to keep doing that. And I love the live shows. Live shows are one of my favorite things to do. I love getting on stage.
Rone was the guest at our second ever live or third
you
ever
were
live show. Remember that?
in Philly.
That was so fun.
You were.
Surprise guest Trent.
Yes, and that was incredible. Which that motherfucker Trent.
What's the beef with Trent right now?
You see that jar on the table?
Yeah, I mean, that jar needs to be filled up. It's Trent's jar of broken promises. And let me tell you, this man, it's overflowing with money at this point. It's overflowing. I don't want to get too into it right now because I think Trent will actually get mad, but I'm fucking pissed at Trent right now.
Just give me Cliff Notes.
I don't think Trent lives here anymore.
Oh, definitely not. He lives on a golf course.
Yeah, and he did not tell us. And so it's like our fans are always like, "Where's Trent? Where's Trent? Have Trent on the pod." Trent's not here. Okay, everybody, he's not here.
You guys want Trent here as much as anybody, just as much as the fans.
And I have this it's like a toxic relationship with Trent because part of me is like, fuck Trent. Then whenever I find myself talking to Trent, I'm like, I'm so happy for you.
And he's like the nicest guy that you could ever imagine.
And I just can't keep my fuck you attitude towards him. I'm always like, I'm really happy you're living your dreams.
Isn't it so much easier to say fuck you about someone when they're not
yes,
there?
And then when you're texting with them, I'm like, wow, I'm so happy for you. So maybe Trent will come back into this office, maybe not. But thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your kind words.
My pleasure.
Really, honestly, it's very nice to hear. And you and Caleb used to make videos for Fran and I every time we made it to a new 100,000 on Instagram.
We owe you some videos.
You owe us a couple videos.
I think stopped at 400.
I think you guys stopped maybe at 400,000.
Yeah, well, you were getting too fucking successful.
It's risen a bit. The next milestone will be 900,000 on Instagram. So if we
maybe at a million, we'll get
a big one.
A nice one with
and you guys can get
balloons,
special guests in there and everything. It's a whole thing. Maybe you can have Trent in the video.
That would be a special guest.
If you can locate him, please let me know.
He's probably in Dubai on a golf course somewhere.
Who knows? They're selling merch. Green. They're having a great time.
Last thing I want to get into before we jump into this, the Sunday sauce looked amazing yesterday.
Noah, how was it?
Fantastic. I already gave my review and my grade, but
you gave the entire meal an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
What would you give the sauce?
Oh, the sauce? I'll bump it up to a 9.5.
Sauce was incredible.
But I said I want to give room for improvement because we'll have future meals.
He's hoping to be invited over many times.
She said that that's not even your best. So
it's not. That is not my best thing that I make at all, in my opinion. I think I can make better, but that's like a classic,
What was on the dish? Was it like a manicotti or something like that?
So I made lasagna roll-ups, which is people did ask if it's like manigot, which I know people say
manigot.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's similar, but it's not exactly the same. But it's very similar vibe with the ricotta in the middle, chopped up spinach,
And the sauce from scratch?
Yes, homemade sauce.
Where are you getting tomatoes from?
Well, so it's like homemade sauce, but you use crushed tomatoes already. I have made from tomatoes, but you take crushed tomatoes, the cans, like the Tortoruso, and then you let it cook for 3 hours, but you have to add a bunch of stuff in it, garlic, onion, a lot of spices. I add red wine in there and then let it sit for 3 hours.
Is this from your mom? Is this your mom's recipe?
So actually, I've taken my mom and Marty's mom's recipe and combined the two. So now it's mine.
God damn, that's Italian as fuck.
Very Italian. It is.
That's Italian as fuck.
Yeah.
What was the topic of conversation at the table? I know that if Tommy Smokes was there, his ass was gossiping. There's no doubt in my mind that he was gossiping.
What did we? I honestly feel like
relaxed.
I actually feel like we didn't gossip much, honestly. And you know me, I'm a big gossiper as well.
Of course. Kelly Keegs there too?
Yeah, right. You got Noah.
Yeah,
you got all the gossips in one place.
Our powers combined. That's like Captain Planet.
Honestly, there was football and baseball on, so they were kind of dominating the conversation with like football, baseball. At one point, because I don't really smoke anymore, I've talked about that a ton, but like every month or 2 months, like when I'm with a group of people, like I will partake. So we did yesterday, and then I just was acting like it was my first time because like I don't anymore, so like you know it, so now it really hits. I was acting like it was my first time. I had like 2 things of ice cream in my hand. I had Noah's one bag. Noah showed up to my house with 1 bag of Doritos, so I had that.
Housewarming.
But here's the thing: you're putting the emphasis on like 1 bag. Like, would it have been better if I brought 2 bags of Doritos? Like, it was a big bag of Doritos.
Oh, I was picturing like
no, not like you're making it sound. Yeah, actually, you're making it sound like I brought like the single serving bag.
like soccer practice.
It was like a
snacks.
full bag.
Yeah. Well, okay, so if you're going to someone's house, right, and they're hosting, they tell you, don't worry, I got it covered. I'm making apps because I made apps as well. I'm making dinner. What are you bringing?
It's a bottle of alcohol. It's like
Kelly had said she was already bringing wine.
I had wine because I said I had wine and stuff. So, but you
also just can't bring enough wine. Like wine's not going to go bad. You bring wine, you don't drink it right away, or you
hold on to that wine. You drink wine, then you got a backup bottle.
Exactly. I think that some type of alcohol. If it's a guy that's hosting, maybe like a whiskey or something like that, or it depends on how refined they are. But some booze or Doritos. Did I say Doritos too?
Yeah.
I think Doritos could be one of the best.
And he also
you were enjoying those Doritos.
Yeah, after I was so high and I was like eating the Doritos. Noah showed up, and the joke was he showed up an hour and a half late with 1 bag of Doritos. That's why it was funny.
What color Dorito though?
Well, then I thought that this was a credit to me that I brought the what is it, nacho? The normal one, the red
one.
But I prefer Cool Ranch. But I was like, most people probably prefer this, so I'll do this for them and not bring the Cool Ranch.
What a martyr!
And then when I said
so selfless,
they all
so
said, "No, we like Cool Ranch better." So I'm like,
yeah, no, I keep joking about it, and then I end up having to tell them it's totally okay.
I'm gonna bring over like 5 bottles of wine.
Yeah, just a crate of wine.
Yeah, please do. More wine, the merrier.
I also stopped smoking weed recently, or
really?
probably about the same time. Probably like November of last year.
Yeah, because
I feel like I smoked weed with you like in Chicago.
No.
Well, no, I think that it's like this. So I stopped September of 2022. I completely just like, I remember the day. Like I think I got some bad weed from somewhere in the city, and I just said, fuck this. I threw everything away.
Threw it out?
I literally threw it all in the garbage. And then for an entire year, I didn't smoke, not once.
Wow.
And then I think it was like around that time, it was like we went to the Jersey Shore last summer, and then we were all sitting around. I was like, okay, I'll have a whatever. And then in the past year since then, it's been maybe like a handful of times, like occasional with friends, and I don't crave it when I'm just like sitting around. What made you stop?
It was like a similar thing. I was smoking 5 times a day since I was like 19.
I mean, me and you would smoke literally in the middle of the day in the office.
Like, and then again. And it was with Robbie Fox.
Yes.
And Robbie Fox, I felt bad because he was like, I should smoke too. Like, you're quitting, Rhea's quitting. And I was like, I don't care what anybody else does. It just wasn't for me anymore. And I got to the same point where I got out the other side of it, and now like I could smoke like once every like couple weeks or something like that and just enjoy myself. But then I tried to smoke with Robbie Fox right before a pop punk show, and it like threw me into a fucking vortex. I had to go to the gym and start doing cardio to try and get it out. I was doing like body squats to try and get the weed out of my system.
Exactly, because it makes you feel so different than it once
Yes,
did.
it used to do like barely anything.
No, I mean, we were the same way because we would smoke at work together. So I remember like when I woke up, I would smoke. Before I took a shower, I'd smoke. Before I ate any meal, I'd smoke. I would smoke in the middle of the day, before I recorded a podcast, before I went to bed. Like it just got too much where now my brain is so clear and I love my brain so much now that I think back and I'm like, it really was clouded. And now I just love...
That's a healthy ass thing to say. I love my brain
I do.
so much.
I love my brain. Like I don't even really... like I love wine and, you know, when I go out I drink, but I don't even really love drinking like as much as I once did because I just love my brain the way it is, if that makes sense.
That's positive as hell. What are you on, BetterHelp? What the hell is this?
I love my life. I know it's not the typical... People, I think, are so used to... Nowadays everyone hates themselves and hates everything and everything's bad, and like I love my brain, so I think it's okay to say it.
I think that people almost want to hate their life because they think they get like an online set of points, or it's not even only online. Like people feel like if you complain about things, misery loves company, and like I feel like people almost put it on in some ways where they're like, oh, the fucking job, I gotta do this job. I even said to my wife as I'm leaving, like, oh, off to my fake job. Like, this is not a real job. This is like such a blessing to be able to live the life that I live. I'm in lockstep that it's like you can be positive and it can be kind of fun.
Exactly. It's fun to be positive. It's fun to enjoy life. It's fun to enjoy things. It's also the same thing with the internet, though, right? It's like, on one hand, when years ago when I like was depressed all the time and I was really going through a hard time mentally, people... when I talked about it, it was great that people felt like they can relate and, you know, we can talk about it and very open. Now that I do not feel that way at all and I my brain feels like that was a whole other person, people then get weird about you being so happy, right? They're
you
like,
abandoned us.
Yeah, like it's like people don't also want to see people happy too. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but like I said, my brain feels good and I'm happy about it.
And you don't need the weed to do it. Even though we used to have a good weed smoking crew, Buddha Ben.
Yeah, we did.
Tech guy Andrew.
The fact that...
Remember the volcano?
Oh my God. I mean, the fact that Robbie Fox and I, and you a lot of times, would be smoking backwoods...
You'd know when because
it's
you guys I'd smell it and then I'd hear like the stairwell door close.
And it would be like a cartoon. It would be like a Pepe Le Pew cartoon. Like you could see backwood smoke following someone around.
I'm just like, imagine me going up to the counter like, yeah, can I get those honey backwoods? Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't relate to it now. I do not relate to it, but it was fun.
Yeah,
we had some great moments. All right. Well, you are a big Bravo fan. And
the biggest.
Obviously, the listeners of this podcast are some of the biggest Bravo fans as well. I do love and appreciate your love for Bravo. So before we get into this Bravo bracket, and of course, this is the weekly watch report, so we will be talking about things we watched this week, even though we went on a little tangent.
Yes.
I want to ask you some questions about Bravo and where your takes are at right now with some of the shows.
Fair.
You're a Vanderpump Rules watcher, lover.
Yes.
Do you think this show should end?
I think Vanderpump Rules made it so hard for not only Vanderpump Rules to be able to get through the drama, but also top that season because everybody thinks that they're reality stars now. And I think across the entire Bravo universe, almost every franchise is looking for a Scandival. And they're like, what do we have that can get to this level? And it's almost unattainable. That's some of the juiciest stuff that will ever happen on reality show, on any reality show ever. And it was perfect and it was so fun to watch and it was horrific to watch, and that's why it had like America by the balls. Like people were, I mean, men, women everywhere, gay, straight, doesn't matter, people were loving it. I want to see what happens with the show, though. I still want to see what happens with their lives. I guess they have like spin-offs, and you could always do spin-offs. I just want to keep on watching, just with the knowledge that it's not going to get to that level again.
Yeah, so I understand that. My take on it is that, like, I think that it's first of all, I think Scandoval saved the show. So I think it's a very confusing thing for one, the ego of Sandoval, because in his mind, he's like, well, I saved this show. If I didn't do any of this, the show would have been over. These people wouldn't have gotten this fame. But then you're also going to have Ariana, who I think has exceeded the show at this point. She's hosting Love Island, the biggest season of Love Island. She's on Broadway, Dancing with the Stars. She's conquered it all. And when I look at her, I don't even think Vanderpump anymore. And then you have Lala and Sheena, who are so Vanderpump heavy that in my eyes, I'm like, maybe we just say goodbye to Vanderpump as a whole. We end it, let them go off and do the Valley.
Wow, let them graduate up to the Valley?
Not even graduate up. I don't know if you would graduate up or just move on.
Geographically.
You just literally move on to the Valley.
Yeah, I mean, that could make a lot of sense. That it is a natural progression for them to have a different place to go. But it's like, at first, I sat next to Sheena at dinner a couple nights ago.
Did you?
Very exciting. But
did you say hi to her?
I didn't. I was too...
You nervous?
I was too nervous.
Who was she with?
Not her husband.
Not Brock.
Not Brock. I think just another guy that's like friends with them on the show or something like
Scandal.
that.
No,
no, it wasn't that, because regardless. But I think that I still want to know what's going to happen with their next relationships, and even though it might be like a little bit less exciting, like the character of Tom Sandoval is still, there's meat on the bone. Mm-hmm. And I think there's almost like a schadenfreude, like we like to see when something goes wrong with someone, that I think that he thought that he was going to go on that boot camp show and it would be like, everything's cool. That he would just be like, I did some push-ups and it was hard for me and I was outside. Like, I've atoned for my sins. Mm-hmm. But I think that there's so much more atoning for him to do, and also like you could tell that he's not like sorry about it. He just is like going through the motions. And so in this perfect world, if they go and graduate to this next franchise or matriculate onto the next landing spot for them, what happens to him in your world? What happens to Tom Sandoval? Where do we get to watch him? He goes out to pasture and dies?
Yeah, we don't have to watch him.
But there's still an appetite for him.
Because he's such a villain. I understand what you're saying.
He's on tour still, probably.
So, yeah, if you want to go get tickets to his show, you can go watch him.
I want to watch DJ James Kennedy. Tom Sandoval's a liar.
Did you see that Jax Taylor talked about Sandoval recently because of Jax Taylor's divorce with Britney? You following all of that? That's happening?
Of course.
He said that Sandoval has reached out to him the most. They now talk 3-4 times a week. And when I see Jax Taylor and Tom Sandoval in the same sentence, I'm like, we have the biggest scumbags on earth together with those two. And it does bring me back to the beginning days of Vanderpump when they really were the scummiest of scum. And the fact that anybody was ever surprised that Sandoval did any of this.
He did the same move twice.
Were you surprised at all? And did you like Sandoval at all?
I don't really watch that show.
Because I hated him.
I like one dude that's ever been on that show, and that's Bo. Mm-hmm. Stassi's man. Mm-hmm. He's basically the only good guy. Mm-hmm. Other than that, it's all just the worst people ever, and they just take turns topping themselves. At one point, James Kennedy was like looking like the most rational, like level-headed guy of all of them, and it's like, how could this guy, after, and it's a testament, I guess, to his growth, but after everything that he went through, that he winds up being like having the moral high ground in the situation. It's the Olympics for the worst personalities ever, and they're always competing at a really high level, and I think that's what makes it fun to watch. Like, that's what LA and Hollywood and that area of the country is to me. They cast the show perfectly. I'm not ready for it to end.
Wow, that is a bold opinion, and I do appreciate your opinion on it, because I've had such the opposite opinion.
You just want to be done with it?
I'm just like, give it a rest. And I don't even think it's because of, it's more like what you're describing is that they all are like thinking they have some moral high ground above each other, and they don't. I think they need to go back to being like, you know what? None of us are better than the other person. Let's just dive into that, and then you have a show. It's the like, we're better than, like when Lala's like, we're filming, Ariana's not filming, this and that, and I'm like, none of you are like, it's what you're talking about, but I'm thinking about it in the opposite way of like, they need to just shed that and then just go right back into filming.
Yeah, just stop pretending that you're good people
Yes.
at all.
Right. Just openly say we are fucking bad people. Here's a show. Because then I'm watching the whole thing.
It was crazy how at the end of last season they flipped it on Ariana, being like, you're actually the bad person.
It was like, I was like, what am I watching right now? And then you did have some people buying into that, where they were like, you're right, Ariana, because they kept saying we film our real lives. And Ariana was like, well, my real life, I do not associate with Tom Sandoval. So if we're filming our quote unquote real lives, then why would I film with him? Because that's not my real life, which I understood that point of it.
I think there's also a thing that happens when someone is the good guy or the bad person on reality TV for too long, that there's almost a watcher fatigue of that same storyline. So it's like, okay, she is obviously the good person in this situation, and it's so shoved in our face that people might be ready for a little bit of a turn, that people might be like rooting on her downfall.
And that's what happens with the internet, with TV. I even just kind of mentioned it before, like when you're happy, people are like, oh no. It's like they see Ariana thriving and they're like, oh, her star is shining too bright now. How can we find a way to be on Sandoval's side? Well, regardless, we know even if they continue, I'm still going to watch, even if I'm saying that they shouldn't. You do watch Real Housewives of New Jersey?
Of course. Love the additions to the cast.
This season of Real Housewives of New Jersey, they didn't end up doing a reunion because they said it was so tumultuous that they couldn't even be in the same room anymore.
I didn't realize that that's why that happened.
Yeah, they were like, they can't even be in the same room. They were throwing drinks at each other. They're cursing each other out.
They're saying that people's husbands have man boobs. That was nasty.
That was some of them have some of the greatest but most despicable lines I've ever heard on this show. Do you think this show needs a change up?
I thought that they kind of got some new blood in there, and then that maybe was the change up. And I applaud the new women on the show that they weren't afraid to mix it up and get into these arguments. But it's also like when you're on a Real Housewives franchise, it's almost like your worth is built on how much you can mix it up and how many can you get a drink thrown on you?
Yeah.
Or
can you tell someone they look like shit? By the way, you look like fucking shit. Like that's what
exactly
they thrive off of.
And that's like it, and sometimes they'll be like someone's friend on a couple episodes, and it's obviously their tryout to see if they can be toxic enough to live up to the standard that a storied franchise like New Jersey has set. I don't think that there's ever an excuse for them not to have a reunion show. If people are so toxic they can't be in the same room, great. Make it a fucking 6-part reunion show.
Isn't that what we want?
And let's sink our teeth into it. This was never meant to be a kumbaya show, and I'm pretty sure that Andy Cohen has built a empire on the fact that nobody gets along with each other. Why are we expecting anybody to get along with each other?
Right. We don't want it to be so okay that they can sit in the room with each other. It's actually better if they can't stand being in the room with each other. That's what's going to give us the explosive reunion that we all want. And then they do, like you said, 6 parts, and we got to wait week to week. Meanwhile, just put it all at once. I would sit there for 6 hours in one night. Like that's my big thing. It's like the parts, like just give it to me all in one night. I'll sit there for 6 hours straight and watch the entire thing. I don't like the week to week breakup.
Let me ask you a question. You live in New Jersey?
Yes, I do.
What if Andy Cohen comes to you with a Godfather offer and was like, we'd like you to be on our show?
Absolutely not.
Why?
I like my sanity. Didn't I just tell you how much I like my brain?
Yes.
I'd like to keep it that way.
This would destroy your brain, probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I mean, would my family's on Long Island, would my family be fucking fantastic on a show like this? Yes, they would. Me, not so much. Them, yes.
Would your parents do it?
Oh, they'd eat it up. You know how much my parents love Housewives. Oh my God. Oh my God. If my dad can come on the show and talk about the Housewives, like that would be his dream. But they can't. They would love it and they would do it, but they can't.
Which franchise do you think that you would thrive most in, and which one do you think you would get along best with the women?
That's a good question. Gosh. I mean, that's really obviously for Jersey. For me, it's like whenever I see Melissa Gorga, I feel like I'm seeing my aunt. So I feel like I'd be comfortable in the atmosphere of them screaming and yelling at each other. Like that would not throw me off.
Yes.
And I feel like maybe they look at me like their younger cousin or like whatever. I feel like I could get them to like me.
Yes.
I think Beverly Hills is so opposite of like how I was raised, and like
there's so much money
there's
that they have.
so much money, like generational wealth going on there, that they would like spit on me if they saw me.
You couldn't even be able to fit in if you didn't have like a vintage Chanel dress.
No, I think they would like hear my accent and just go and then that would be it.
Trash.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you never see the Jersey Housewives and the Beverly Hills Housewives associating with each other.
Oh, of course not. Even at BravoCon, they probably have
there's a line.
Berlin Wall between the two of them.
Well, this leads me right into my bracket, which is a Real Housewives bracket. And the point of this bracket is the person you end up with is going to be at every single dinner of your life going forward. They're always the extra person at the end of the table, okay? So say it's you and your wife, you guys go out to dinner, this person's always with you guys.
So this is way different from just they're a dinner guest. Because like for a one-time dinner guest, it's like, be a psychopath.
Every time you go to dinner, they are there.
This
at
person's
your table.
also there?
Always at your table.
Oh my God.
And I'd love to hear your opinions about each person and why you're picking them.
Okay.
Okay.
How many people are in this bracket?
12.
12.
There are 12 people in this bracket. You'll pick one. Okay, let's start off. And this will show where your alliance lies.
Okay, and if I have to Google a name, it's because I'm very just face oriented whenever I watch Bravo. I'm locked in on who these people are, but I don't.
You got it.
I'll confuse names.
Melissa Gorga or Teresa Giudice? You are picking a side right off the bat here.
If it's one dinner,
it's not one
Teresa
dinner.
Giudice. If it's the rest of my life, I think Melissa Gorga is a little bit more even keel. Just a little bit more, just she flies with less turbulence.
I do understand the one dinner, though. You want it to be Teresa Giudice for entertainment
Oh
purposes.
my God. It's like being in the splash zone at SeaWorld where you're getting a martini splash on your face. Once, that's fine. It's like exciting.
Right.
If you were getting a dirty martini in your face every dinner for the rest of your life, probably less ideal. Exhausting.
It's exhausting. Okay. Bethany Frankel or Lisa Vanderpump?
This is tough. My wife hates how much I like Bethany Frankel. Do
you like her TikToks? Is that what it is?
I liked her before TikTok. And now I like all of her TikToks. I'm like, oh, what does she think about Michael Rubin's white party?
Or her chicken salads.
Yeah, or like the best places to eat in Paris or whatever the fuck she's on. It's going to be Bethany Frankel. I just appreciate her as a businesswoman.
She is a very smart businesswoman, and I can't decide if I fucking hate her TikToks or love them. I've talked about this before. She started doing these chicken salad reviews, and the way that she eats the chicken salad grosses me out so much. The chicken salad is falling out of her teeth and her mouth, but yet I'm watching every video of her eating the chicken salad. You know, she's got me hooked.
She definitely has me hooked as well, but that's also not to disparage Lisa Vanderpump. Lisa Vanderpump is the matriarch. You know, she's built something beautiful, and she just lets her. She has like a Andy Cohen vibe where she just can let all of her children fight with one another.
Her little minions.
Now minions don't fight.
I would love to be at dinner with Joe Gorga if I had the
Joe
chance
Gorga.
to swap him in.
No, one dinner with Joe Gorga. I do not want to be not at
He would
every
have so
dinner.
many inspirational quotes and
His Instagram is incredible.
His Instagram posts are amazing.
Yeah, I mean.
Does he have someone else editing those when he puts, he has to have a Noah?
We have to ask
Some
him.
of them look like he's just doing it.
I think it's him.
Really?
I think it's Joe.
He just has like an app.
Listen, Joe is exciting and entertaining. I don't know about every dinner. Maybe the weekend has come around and you've had a long week. You've had a long week of work and you don't feel like doing anything on the weekend, but you have things to do. You have errands to run. You have people to see. You have events to attend, and you need that boost of energy. Look for a proper wild energy shot in your life. I got blackberry, strawberry kiwi, there's peach mango to get you through that hump, to get you energized, to stay fun, stay going. You've had a long week, but now it's the weekend and you don't want to just lay around. You want to get through it so you can grab proper wild to give you that energy you need. They also have energy gummies that delivers the perfect boost. It gives you 4 to 6 hours of energy and has 5 times more caffeine than a shot of espresso and 15 times more L-theanine than a cup of green tea. So if you need that extra boost of energy in your life, whether it's midday, midweek, or on the weekend because you just want to have some fun, use code WILD for 30% off at properwild.com. Margaret Josephs or Kyle Richards?
Margaret or Kyle? I think I have to go with Kyle. I think that I am just curious about her new love life.
I was just going to say, so we can finally get to the bottom of it.
Right. Is it real? Is it for show? Is she gay? Is she straight? What's going on with Mauricio? What's going on with the kids?
Right, the amount of dinners that you have that you would have to get to the bottom of it at
we
some
would
point.
dig in. She probably wouldn't be an open book right away, but we'd start with the tattoos.
Right.
The matching
Start
tattoos.
easy. And you're going to be spending a lot of dinners together. So eventually she's going to have to
forever
open
dinners.
up.
And she's probably picking up the tab for some of these dinners because, I mean, I guess both of them are going to be paid. But Kyle, I think would be, she seems kind of normal. Is that crazy?
No, I have always liked Kyle Richards. And then I've always felt crazy for liking Kyle because I feel like people don't.
Yeah.
But I really liked Lisa and Kyle together. So when they ended up getting into a fight, that left me confused.
Is Kyle's sister
Kim.
Kathy?
And Kathy Hilton.
Kathy Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's crazy to me, that she turned out relatively normal, and then Kathy Hilton is like maybe the least normal person. Like she would pick up this and be like, what do people do with these?
Yes, Kathy Hilton is a strange woman. Strange, and I think a touch of evil.
Yeah, maybe evil, or maybe like a undiagnosed, like some kind of like, if she were born today, they might have like a name for what's going on. But like she just was born,
Yeah.
50 years before.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever watched the Paris Hilton documentary?
No.
About like her life?
No.
You're just like, I don't remember exactly, but it's like, obviously she just didn't believe anything that was happening with Paris Hilton. And like a lot of stuff was happening with her while she was at school. And like Kathy Hilton sent her away. And it was like, not good.
She sent her away?
You don't know about oh my
I
God.
don't
No,
know
it's
what it
dark. It's dark.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Too much for right now?
Too much for right now.
Okay.
Sutton or Dorit?
Wow, this is tough. I like Dorit better than Sutton. I think that Sutton...
Name them.
Sutton is interesting to me. Sutton is like is fun to watch on reality TV. I sat close to Sutton out at dinner recently as well.
What's going on?
I'm in the right orbit. And I was with my wife, and she was like, and then Sutton dirty looked her. She like gave her a dirty look for like looking over. It's like, you're out in public. You obviously want to be in the public eye.
You can't get mad if someone
She wasn't like
notices
taking
you.
pictures.
No.
She just like glanced at her and got a dirty look right away.
Oh my God, fuck
For
her.
that reason, Sutton is off the list.
Damn.
I like Dorit, but I would if she's going to be at dinner every time, bring back the British accent. I want the British accent back. I enjoyed the British accent when she was throwing it around.
So obviously people were confused when she had this accent that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
After I went to London just for a week in the summer, I couldn't stop talking. Like, obviously, I just couldn't. Every conversation I had, like, especially there was one night I was drunk and I was being so annoying. I just couldn't stop talking in an accent. And I was like, I understand where Dorit was coming from. Like, it just stuck.
But I don't think she knew she was doing it, though. You probably were doing it to be funny and fun. Mm-hmm. What did Marty say when you kept on doing the British accent?
He just let me do my thing. I could tell that it was probably getting very annoying, but he wasn't going to tell me to. He would try to do it, and I was like, yours is so bad. And he'd be like, you think yours is good? Like, it's not any better.
Did his sound like a Long Island with it?
Yes.
That's so fucking funny. Damn, I want to hear his British accent now.
Yeah, we have to get him to do it because it's just, it's
I wind up doing the same thing whenever I go somewhere, and like we traveled. My wife and I went to South Africa last summer, and then we went to like Iceland this past year, and I couldn't do the I couldn't do the Icelandic accent, so I went back to doing the South African accent.
You're like, this is the one I've practiced enough.
Yeah, this is the good one I have. It doesn't make sense now.
Everyone always has one. Weirdly enough, when I was still doing acting, the one role, so I was getting tired of like from 8 years old up until I want to say between 16 and 18, I kind of dwindled off because I was in high school and whatever. But this is kind of the story that led to that. I was auditioning for endless TV shows and movies, like multiple times a week. Like it took up a lot of my life. And I would always get like maybe a call back, or you're so close. I would always get very weird feedback. And I had this audition. I was just ended 9th grade. I was going into 10th grade. And the audition was for somebody with a Russian accent. And I had never had an audition for any other accent besides like either New York, or I had to go to a speech pathologist to get rid of my Long Island accent when I was like really young.
To get a non-regional
dialect.
Yeah,
so I had like a Midwestern accent, and I had to do all these worksheets. I had a tape recorder. I'd have to record myself. Instead of coffee, I'd have to say coffee, or instead of softball, I'd say softball. Like I had to do all these things because I was like 10 years old talking like this. And they were like, this is crazy. She's like 4 years old in a 10 years old body. So I had never had to do like an accent like that. And I just started practicing this Russian accent. And I went into this audition and I fucking nailed it. Like,
really?
I don't know what happened, but I nailed it. And I left the audition and I said to my parents, I said, if I don't get this, I'm done. Like, I am quitting acting. Like, I can't do this anymore. I had just started high school. Like, I was just done with it. The next day, I got a call that I got the part.
You got the part?
Dead serious. I got a call that I got the part. My high school that I went to was is a private Catholic school, so the way the testing was made up was different. The end of the year tests count for 50% of your grade for the entire year. They're called comps. So there's 6 days in a row. They count for 50% of your grade the entire year. It was going to start filming when comps took place. So my dad called the school and was like, hey, she got a part, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, that's great, but if she misses these comps, she's going to have to go to summer school. And my dad was like, well, she won't be able to go to summer school. She'll be filming. And they were like, okay, well, then she's going to have to go to public school. And I had never been to public school. And you would have thought that I was getting my house ripped away. I was like, I can't go to public school. I've never been to public school. Like, I just was like, no, I can't do it. And I just gave it up.
No.
And I think it was the best decision that I made because I'm here now.
Because you got a good Catholic education.
Right, of course.
Because you were close to the Lord for 4 years.
Of course. No, but I think I ended up in the right places where I was supposed to. And I kind of took a break from that in high school, but it was the Russian accent.
I don't know, but what if you had gone on to be like the Russian Zendaya or something like
something
that?
crazy? Yeah. No, I mean, it was a Disney movie. It was called The Contest, and I'm not even sure it was like that big of a role, but it was Russian. I don't even know.
Did you ever watch the movie to see who got your part?
I didn't. I never watched it. But
can we hear just some of the Russian accent?
I don't
just
even
like
know.
A little bit, just for.
I don't even know how to do it. That's what's mind-boggling to me. Is like I don't even know how I ended up with that Russian accent. Like I would need like a word. Like I need like a sentence to say.
Say they were going to send me to public school.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You in your eyes. I can't do it.
I can't do it. I just know like
they were going to send me to public school.
Like I'm just thinking about me like 15 or however, 14 years old. I'm like doing a Russian accent, getting the part, but
that would have been sick.
It would but things
everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. I wasn't meant to play that part. Clearly.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Sorry, we got
good tangent.
Yeah.
So Dorit is my answer.
Dorit's your answer. Garcelle or Dolores?
I think I'm going with Garcelle. I enjoy Dolores's, storyline. I feel like she's kind of been an independent woman. But so Garcelle, I enjoy.
Good head on her shoulders.
She's not afraid to stand up for herself. She like she'll take sides. Obviously, she's pals with Sutton, but at the same time, she's like she won't be so tribal that she'll get lost in a storyline. She seems like a normal enough human being. She seems like a good addition to that cast. And it's probably hard to be like a late addition to a cast when they're not doing something brand new. So I'd say Garcelle.
Yeah,
yeah, I'll go Garcelle.
She would be. You're not getting like "fuck you" at dinner with Garcelle.
Yes,
Dolores,
she's ladylike.
Dolores, you'd be getting like "go fuck yourself," "fuck you," and then like, okay, let's eat.
And I like Dolores, but I also, and I hate that I have to say this, but I feel like she's like, how do I say this without being rude to her? As if she's like listening in, but like
she might hear it,
right? But like there's other like big stars on her season, you know, that I like her personality. I'd like to see a little bit more of her own personality instead of like kind of falling into the cookie cutter of the cast personality.
Right, and her storyline of her just like being friends with Frank, her ex-husband.
Right. That's what I was talking about. That Frank is like doing the renovations on her new townhome or whatever, or like he's living there or not living there. I can't even follow.
I can never really follow what's going on with their relationship. All I know is like they're friends.
But I love Frank.
Yep.
If Frank was on the table, I'd go out
you
to
just
dinner
pick
with Frank. Yeah.
Frank or Joe Gorga.
That's fucking tough. Maybe Frank though. I don't know. Those guys, they have a way of staying in incredible shape.
You just wanted to get their tips.
I just want some gym tips, or if it's like, you know, supplements or performance enhancers,
right.
maybe
Anything that they have,
whatever they're doing.
Right. Jenna Lyons or Luann?
Jenna Lyons or Luann. If it's one, this is another one where if it's one, I'm going with the Countess. I'm going with Luann. If it's forever, I think Jenna Lyons is pretty normal, and I think that everybody on the show seems like they like admire her, or like they don't want to cross her, or like that. And she also hasn't had that many big blow ups, or I don't know. She just is an interesting character. Even the way that she was talking to on this. Did you watch the first episode? She's like talking to her like new girlfriend's like mom while they're like looking at shoes. I don't know. She just looks like she seems normal. She doesn't seem that toxic. She's in New York. She probably has great taste as far as like where to go out and everything like that. Didn't love her dress the first episode though, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, I'm sure she doesn't love my outfit.
If we're talking about her fashion choices.
If we're talking about her fashion choices, she was calling it something crazy too. I don't even know if I can say it. That big pink dress that she was wearing. What did you think of it?
I need to remind myself of. Hold on. It
was a big pink dress with a single red ribbon on it. And it was
oh yes
it was a little bit shocking.
You know what this reminds me of? The twins in that movie. Oh my god, the scary movie,
The Shining.
Is that what it is when
Maybe.
they're dressed?
Yes,
that's what.
Riding like the tricycles.
It could be. I think there are some creepy twins in The Shining.
I think I'm talking about the twins. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The Shining twins.
It's like a little bit
that
creepy.
Dress that's what that reminds me of.
And honestly, usually Jenna Lyons' fashion is beyond reproach, so I don't.
But maybe hopefully she won't. Hopefully she won't be wearing that to dinner.
Yeah. She seems like a one-time wear.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We're gonna do Ramona Singer versus Brynn. So we got old school New York versus new school New York.
I think that Ramona is one of the all-time GOATs. But I think what we're seeing from Brynn, I think that she might be next up.
You think so?
I think that Brynn is a certified shit stirrer. And let me make sure I know who I'm talking about with Brynn.
Brynn is like the only like, oh no, Uba's beautiful too. Brynn is like the flirty one. They thought she was like flirting with the husband.
Yep. I'm talking about who I thought I'm talking about. Brynn is not afraid to start things up with the ladies. I think that she's funny, but also I think that when for example, at the reunion last year, when Uba's like kind of coming at her, she's like, I'll fucking... She said something crazy. She was like, I eat people for fucking lunch. She said some crazy shit like that. I was like, oh my God, what a fucking psychopath.
She's not afraid.
In the best way possible. I think she has an interesting story. I think that... have we even like dove into her dating life at all?
No, I'm very confused and interested in her dating life. I'm very intrigued.
Right. Oh wait, but did it, or someone went on a show and like called her a sugar baby or something like that?
Yeah, I think that.
But they didn't even actually say she's a sugar baby. I don't know. But I think that there's upside there, I think is my point, that we could find out more about her dating life. I think that she's interesting.
Potentially set her up with people.
Set her up. I think that she'll have some high-profile romances or explosive breakups. I think all of that stuff could be in her future. I think wherever Andy Cohen found her, I think that he did a hell of a job.
And you're going to be picking her for this dinner.
I'm going with Bryn.
Okay. Last up, and then we'll go from the top.
Okay.
Danielle from Real Housewives in New Jersey or Uba, New School, New York.
I like Uba a lot. I think Uba is very interesting. She is the lightning rod that her season needs. She'll fight with people. She'll get pissed off about losing her phone or whatever. But I think Danielle is similar to Bryn. Like she'll be able to take New Jersey on and like kind of put New Jersey on her back. The way she rode for her man.
Yeah. And I also didn't understand why they were going after her man.
Yeah. It must be something that he's like. They found out that was an insecurity.
Yeah, they must have been, and they just kind of like
boobs anymore.
I don't even think he had man boobs.
And then he's
pretty in shape guy.
He did like a hot photo shoot or whatever, and they were loving it. Honestly, that interaction between them made me. It was so endearing of them both as a couple that I went Instagram followed them both because I wasn't already following. I was
that's influential.
Yeah, they literally influenced me.
Wow, that's big. When they make a move that's like I want to follow them, that means they did something big.
Yes, exactly. So he's at like 15,000 followers.
Yeah.
I'm like I want to build a personal relationship with him.
You're in there early.
That's what I mean. I'm ground floor. I want to be buying in.
You kind of bought in with Bo from
big time
with Vanderpump.
Bo's my dog.
No, you guys are like friends.
Yeah, he's my dog.
You bought in early.
He's the man.
So you're going Danielle?
I'm going Danielle.
All right. Let's start from the top.
This is a great bracket so far.
This is a fun bracket, and I like your reasoning because typically this would be more like the crazier people, but you're gonna have to be going to dinner with them every time.
This is dinner forever.
This is dinner forever. This is not dinner one time. Dinner one time, Teresa Giudice, she wins that.
It's a combination of entertainment, someone being rational, someone being normal enough of a human being that I could like.
You can also maybe gain something, get tips and business moves.
The exchange of good information, high level
drama,
ideas.
Drama,
gossip. I also love those.
Yes. Okay, Melissa Gorga versus Bethany Frankel.
I'm going to go with Bethany Frankel. Bethany Frankel, goat.
I feel like Bethany
I'm going to have to kill her off at some point, though, because my wife is not going to... She's going to
shut this off.
Yeah,
she's going to be like, enough.
No, especially if it's dinner. If the two of us are going to dinner and Bethany Frankel's there every time... She's going to get her the fuck out of here if I don't get her the fuck out of here. So that's no
funny.
Matter what happens, Bethany's losing next round.
She's getting killed at some point. Kyle Richards or Dorit?
This is just another absolute classic. Just titans of industry, matriarchs of the franchise. I think I'm going to go with Kyle. Even though I love Dorit. Dorit is she's been through some trauma.
I'm going Kyle with this.
Yeah, I'm going Kyle as well.
I want to get down to the bottom of what's going on. I want to hear about Mauricio. I want to hear about the kids.
Right. But
Dorit just got divorced.
Fuck. See, that's still interesting to me. But does Mauricio does he do Selling Sunset?
No, he did a $1 million listing. No, $1 million listing was he did Buying Beverly Hills. And that's over now.
Oh, really?
It's not coming back.
See, because that also gave me a whole new window into his life, how he interacts with the people that work for him. And it's like, interesting. These young ladies working for you and everything.
There's been rumors about Mauricio for a long time.
Really?
Yes.
See, I don't dabble in the rumors. I see what I see on the screen and I try
and you take that.
Extrapolate from there.
Garcelle versus Jenna Lyons.
I'm going with Jenna Lyons on this one. I think that Jenna Lyons is fashion icon.
She's a cool woman.
She's a cool woman. You can't you can't say anything about her.
You can't argue with that.
Am I about to have 2 gay women in my final 4? Let's go.
You're interested. I
just want to know what the fuck is going on.
You want to know more. Bryn versus Danielle.
This is going to be the hardest one. And I'm going to say Danielle just because I just went Jenna Lyons. I don't want it to be too New York heavy. I think
You're showing your bias being in New York right now.
Right, exactly. I think Danielle is interesting. She also has these streaks of old New Jersey in her, where it's not like New York. It's almost like this whole new cast has a whole new way of looking at things and a whole new disposition about them. And Danielle is like, she would fit in. She's like cut from that same cloth.
She's got her Jersey roots.
She got her roots.
She doesn't talk to her dad. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like there's there's still roots in there.
Exactly.
Bethany Frankel versus Kyle Richards. Now you said
Bethany Frankel's out of here.
For the sake of your wife.
She had a great run, but it's Kyle, and you know, I enjoy Kyle. I wouldn't have guessed coming into this that she would be in the final like this, but good for Kyle. She's
a good upset.
Scrappy.
Yeah. Jenna Lyons versus Danielle. Are you gonna do battle of Kyle and Jenna in the end?
I know, and have them at dinner together and see if any sparks fly between the two of them.
See what happens there.
I can't put them in those situations, especially knowing their girlfriends. I don't want to have them, so I'll go with Danielle on this one.
Okay. And now Kyle Richards versus Danielle. I know my answer on this one.
Is Danielle? Can her husband come to like every fifth dinner or something like that?
No.
Then I'll go with Kyle.
Kyle is the correct choice here.
I'll go with Kyle.
I think Kyle Richards is the correct choice because you're going to be getting.
There's just so much.
Kyle's been around a lot longer.
Right. She knows the Hollywood stuff. She knows the Hilton stuff. She knows the early Real Housewives drama. She knows the new Real Housewives drama. She has daughters who are of age. They probably have their own new like drama that they're bringing to the table.
And if you think about it this way, Kyle has been in the game for years and years and years. Like you said, she knows all the drama. Danielle, if she's spending all her dinners with you guys, what kind of drama is she going to give to the Jersey Housewives franchise?
Kyle is going to bring a class, but also a gossip that as our third, my wife, me, Kyle, that's a good eternity of dinners that we're going to be having.
Gossip, money, probably pick up the tab.
Pick up the tab. I would feel bad if I asked Danielle to pick up the tab. She's doing well, but at the same time, she's still building something.
She's on Jersey, not Beverly Hills.
Right. If she was on Beverly Hills,
it'd be a little bit different.
I know she's probably a millionaire. She's doing great, but it's a different. We talked about it. It's a different tax bracket out in Beverly Hills.
It is absolutely.
This was a fun exercise. I would have never thought Kyle would have made it that far, but good for her.
No, honestly, I'm happy for Kyle because not a lot of people are picking Kyle right now. They're upset with her for the past season. They don't think she's showing her life, but she's been through a lot. She's going through a divorce. Mauricio, the love of her life. Now she's on to something new, I think.
Something new. A rock and roll gal.
Yeah. She's getting tattoos. She's doing it all. Now she's going to dinner with you and your wife every week.
Wow, she's made it.
She's made it very far. That was a fun bracket. I like these brackets. I'm glad that you watch so much Housewives and Bravo that you were able to participate in a bracket like that.
When I first started dating my wife and she was watching these shows, I was like, you got to turn this off. Like, this is rotting your brain. This is going to color your relationships with all the people that you're friends with. And then like by one season into that, I was like, can you believe that fucking the Countess is going out to fucking like...
You're asking to go to the Countess shows.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
Can we go to the cabaret? Surprise Christmas gift.
Whatever.
Oh, man. Well, I love talking Bravo, and I feel like it's kind of taken...
Thank you for giving me a safe outlet for it.
Yeah, of course. It's always a safe place. Just like this used to be a safe place we're trying to talk about The Bachelor, in which he doesn't anymore. This can be a safe place for you to talk about Bravo and all things. And it's taken a little bit of a lull because once Summer House, the season ends, Vanderpump season end, Jersey season, all the seasons end, and...
Let's not forget about Southern Charm.
No, we can't forget about Southern Charm, which I only started watching recently, which is funny because
Aren't you friends with all those people?
Yes, and I broke the news to Craig this past year that I had never watched Southern Charm before, and he was stunned. And
really?
then I started watching
show
it.
To promote it like 5
No,
times.
literally since 2017, he's been on this show promoting Southern Charm, and I never watched it until this past year.
I remember like Austin came into the old New York office, and I was like, hey, guilty pleasure. I like to watch your show. He's like, why's it got to be guilty?
Good point.
And then I saw Craig and I was like, hey, I'd say it's a guilty pleasure that I watch your show, but I don't feel any guilt about it anymore.
You used it. You reversed. You reversed.
And then they didn't even know.
They're two very friendly guys. They're great.
Yeah.
You would get along with them really well.
I think that they're very nice guys.
Yeah. It is true though. Whenever we do have a Bravo guest come in here, you are the most excited person in the room.
Well, I swear to God, I watch all of them, and it's nice because like fall for a guy like me brings football season. I'm obsessed with football, but it also brings all of these Real Housewives franchises, even the ones you don't watch, like Salt Lake and Potomac.
I watch Salt Lake.
You do?
Yeah, I watch Salt Lake. I mean, hell of a season that I think people are just. It's just more just like what's going to happen now that they kicked her off the show.
Yes, Jen Shah.
Yeah. Well, the one who had the burner accounts.
Yes, the burner account. What was the name of her burner accounts? They were so It was such. It was funny.
So fun. See, time and the news moves so fast. The account was Reality Von Tease.
Reality Von Tease.
Incredible.
What the fuck is wrong?
And
with
it was
her?
Monica. Monica. Reality Von Tease.
What a ridiculous thing to name. Where did she get it? Where does the words come from?
I think it's like tease, you know,
Tease,
like
and like Von Trapp, like
yeah,
Von, like
Reality Von Tease is genius, but really despicable and scary at the same time.
Why do you kick her off for that? Like, give her like like a heroes versus villains Bravo show or some kind of spinoff where she could just be messy or whatever.
She should have been on Traitors.
She should have been on Traitors
because that's a traitor. That's a true traitor right there. All right, let's get into the Weekly Watch Report. You know it. This segment is presented by Coors Light. When life gets hectic this season, choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Maybe you're stuck in a traffic jam. You know me. I hate traffic. I'm stuck in a jam. I get home. I go into the fridge. I reach for my Coors Light to choose chill. Maybe the fall festival tickets, they got you all riled up and you just want to stay at home and have people over and choose chill. Like a Sunday dinner. Choose and chill. Grab your Coors Light. Maybe the sun is setting too early these days or it's about to, and you just want to chill out. That's when it's time to choose chill and grab your Coors Light. When the mountain turns blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. Fall feels good when you choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. Once again, celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, welcome to the Weekly Watch Report where we talk about things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday. 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 Hey. Wow. That just added some new flair to my jingle. I know the people who hate the jingle are going to love that.
People were...
It wasn't Monday.
Oh,
it wasn't Monday. So it's Weekly Watch Report on Monday. It wasn't Monday.
Fucking duh.
Okay, I'm going to start off with, I watched Nobody Wants This, the new rom-com show with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. Loved it. Absolutely ate this show up. I'm giving it an A because it's a classic, just like feel-good rom-com. Makes you believe in like the good, you know? Like Adam Brody, he's not a bad guy. Like he's just trying to tell Kristen Bell he's a good guy and he cares about her. And she, you know, she's used to toxic. She can't give herself away, but she does with him. And I'm giving it a solid A.
It's a full show or a movie?
Show. 10 episodes. 10 episodes.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I watched 8 to 10. I finished it. I like the ending. People were giving me shit for like giving it a B- last week. I thought that was good, but like I'll give it a B+ this week. I thought it ended very strong. I like the ending. I don't want to spoil it. I was just about to say like what happened, but and if it wasn't, no offense to Kristen Bell. If it wasn't Kristen Bell, I think it'd be in the A range for me. I just am not. She doesn't do it for me.
He's just not.
I just don't like Kristen Bell. Like, sorry. Like, I'm trying to think of anything I've liked with. I don't hate her. I just don't love her.
I like Kristen Bell as an actress. Like, I don't. What is the gripe with Kristen Bell?
I don't know. There's just
you
something
don't think
about
she's
her.
Cute enough?
No, that's not it.
Wow. No, I can't believe you're saying you don't think she's cute enough.
No, it's
that's
just
toxic.
I just can't. I don't know. For some reason, I can't like feel bad for her. I just.
Well, I don't know if this character is the type of character where you necessarily feel bad for her. You don't root for her?
I don't root for her, definitely.
Is it really like it? I don't even know where this is coming from with you. Did you see her in something else that makes you
maybe.
not?
I'm trying to think. I just looked her up. Like, I mean, forgetting Sarah Marshall, I guess like I liked her in that. but like
she's
kind
a
of playing,
hateable
like, the
character in
bitch in
Forgetting
that.
Sarah
And
Marshall.
yeah, she cheats on her, or she leaves her man.
In Forgetting
Yeah,
Sarah Marshall.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe you got caught.
I mean,
maybe she's such a good actor that you got caught
I wouldn't
in her
say
character.
she's playing like a likable character in this show. Like she's kind of like a little bit unlikable. Like
I think
like
there.
she's very like influencery, like like in that realm.
I wouldn't say she's unlikable. I think that there are women that can relate to her character in the sense of like they're always chasing like a toxic guy and
I'm just thinking
they
of
never
other-
want to fully give themselves away, and then she finally does with the right man.
I'm just thinking of like other actresses that I could feel like if this was Ana de Armas, I'd be like A.
What?
It's because you're attracted to her.
Well, I'm attracted to both of them.
I mean, I
Don't get me
couldn't see
wrong.
Ana de Armas in this role at all. Not even a little bit.
Like, should I pick another blonde? Or
Like, I mean, the fact that if this was Ana de Armas, if this was Sydney Sweeney, this would get an A plus. That's like what
Sydney
that was.
Sweeney,
I'm with you there.
No. I'm trying to think of like someone else in her world, but
Kristen Bell and Ana de Armas are not in the same world, in my opinion.
Is it like it's a comedy?
It's like a rom-com.
Yeah.
Ana de Armas?
She's more of a serious actress.
Yeah.
I'm like Scarlett Johansson. She would have killed it.
You're just...
Even Cameron Diaz, like
Cameron Diaz. And
Jennifer Emma Stone. Like, give me any of those people. Like, no.
All right.
And honestly, I don't hate Kristen Bell. She just doesn't do it for me.
I thought Kristen Bell was great in
And I still give this a B plus. That's how good this was.
Okay.
I don't love Kristen Bell, and I still like enjoyed the show.
Scarlett, you threw Scarlett Johansson
Natalie
into
Portman,
a Netflix
Natalie
rom-com.
Portman. Reese Witherspoon. Like,
What did
there's
you
plenty
search?
of
Blonde
people.
actresses?
No, I mean Jennifer Aniston. Is she blonde? I don't.
Jennifer Aniston is too old for this role.
Is she? How old is Kristen Bell? They're got to be
I
like
mean,
the same
this
age.
role is not for like.
Kristen Bell is 44, and all right, Jennifer Aniston's.
What's the
probably in her
premise
50s.
of the show?
So it's about two sisters that have a podcast. Well, do you know who Erin and Sarah Foster are?
Arian Foster?
Erin Foster and Sarah Foster,
I don't think
David
so.
Foster's daughters.
I don't think so.
So Erin Foster is like loosely based on her life. She ended up marrying a Jewish guy and converted for him. And her and Sarah have a podcast, and they have a big brand. And I mean, they are David Foster's daughters in the show. They are not the daughters of someone famous. But in this show, the two women have a podcast. It's like, I think it's a well-known podcast. There's even a Call Her Daddy joke in there.
A very specific reference. to
Yeah,
Call Her
a very
Daddy.
specific Call Her Daddy reference in there about her $60 million deal. And she dates, toxic guys and has bad relationships, and she talks about it on the podcast. And then she ends up meeting a rabbi who is a great guy, and he really likes her.
His name is Noah.
And his name's Noah. And
No wonder you gave it a B plus.
it's a classic tale of two people falling in love. But I don't think Jennifer Aniston is playing this role.
A podcaster and a rabbi.
Yeah.
Got it.
Jennifer
It's
Aniston.
very close to home.
Yeah, how about the representation
My
in
grandpa,
these shows?
when my beard grows out, calls me rabbi.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think he loves the beard.
He
So
wants
is
you to
it
shave
a
it.
negative thing? I
Yeah.
like your beard.
Would you ever shave your beard?
I was thinking about this the other day. I'm just kind of scared what's under there. It's been so long.
Did you look at the filter? Did you look at the TikTok?
Oh, I
filter?
actually went on TikTok and I was trying to figure out how to do it because and I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Is
but-
there a reasoning why you want to get rid of it?
I mean, it's just been so long that I'm like, I wonder. Also, we posted a picture of it was me, Tommy, Steve who works here, and Tom who works here, and it was like a side by side of like a picture of us in 2018, a picture of
Pop
us
Punk
now.
Show.
Yeah, and a lot of the replies, not just to me, to them, were like kind of just like ranking like who looks, and they were like that guy looks the worst. Like to me, I mean, I have a beard. Back then, I didn't have a beard. I don't know.
So you're
Kind of got in my head a little bit. I'm
so-
like, did I look hot?
Unless
Or,
then,
I look
no.
better?
Oh, so
You're
they
hot,
were
bro.
saying you
Some
looked
girl responded
better.
to me being like, damn, like yikes, like you used to look good.
Wow, so they were saying you looked better without the beard.
In that picture, I'll say that that was a good picture of me. Like,
You
and
look
maybe
great.
this
You look
one
great
wasn't a
with
good
the
picture.
beard.
Thanks. No, I don't think I'll get.
Don't overthink it.
No, I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm too scared.
Anyways, this show's an A for me, and I guess a B plus for Noah because of Kristen Bell.
Fair.
Yeah.
Tim Dillon special. Did you guys watch that?
I did. So that's a new show.
So I think it's just a special,
Oh, really?
and I think it's just him basically being Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
That's the take
or
I
like
got on
Maury
it.
Povich.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
Jenna whatever, Ricky Lake.
Right. So you watched some of it.
Yes.
Did you think it was real? Like, do you think the people there knew what was going on? Because I can't decide.
So I looked into it that it is 100% real. So, but I was confused because I always wondered this about Jerry Springer, that when you and your wife get on a plane from Mississippi to go to Chicago to be on the Jerry Springer show, you never talk about on the way there, like, hey, what are we going to do? And it's just like, oh, I have a secret that I want to tell you or something like that.
That's what I don't understand about this. It's like they know they're going on the show to discuss.
And the one guy said he lost $200,000 in NFTs or something like that.
And
it's
you're deciding you're going to tell your wife on this show. Why? Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I found it to be entertaining.
Is it like when someone goes to a very public restaurant and breaks up with someone because they think they won't make a scene because more people are watching?
Yeah,
like it has to be something like that like, or and this is another thing that I was thinking, like, Jerry Springer happened a couple notches before everybody in America wanted to be so famous and it was so accessible. And so maybe this show this is more the time for a show like this, because everybody, doesn't matter how embarrassing your life is or your story that you have to tell, you want to tell it because you know that it'll get a lot of eyes on you.
I guess I just can't wrap my head around it and what they think they are going for, right? Like the audience members, do they get invited to this? Are they signing up? Like, I need to know the logistics behind this show.
I watched another TikTok on some of the audience members, and the guy was saying that he got there and they gave them MAGA hats or something like that. So I think that they were trying to make the audience look as extreme as possible.
Right, because you had both sides of the political spectrum in the audience, but then it wasn't.
It wasn't political.
It wasn't political, because then I was like, am I watching? Is this about to be political?
Yeah.
Or... But then it wasn't. It was about an almond mom who shames her daughter about what she's eating.
Yeah.
I did laugh at parts, but I was also confused at a lot of parts as well.
It was funny, and it doesn't feel like a normal comedy special. It feels like its own thing where Tim Dillon's obviously a funny and really interesting guy, and the fact that he can do this and still be great at stand-up, still have a great podcast, speaks to how talented that he is.
Yeah.
But it feels like something different. You know what I mean?
It was different, and he was able to do crowd work and stuff with the audience, which was funny. Noah, did you watch this at all?
I did not. I saw some clips that were funny, but I didn't watch it yet.
I guess I would. What would you grade this?
I would give it a B. I would give it just a solid B, and I really give him points for the creativity of finding a new way to get his comedy out there, but it's just not so new that it's it's like I would watch this if I was homesick from school one day or something, the same way I would watch Jerry Springer. You know, it's like, it's on at noon.
Yeah.
I'm not at school one day. I don't think it's appointment nighttime viewing.
That is the vibe that it was giving. I felt like I went to the nurse's office and got home around 12:30, and then I got home and this was on TV.
And it's just a quick story
of
it was
something. 45 minutes.
Spicy.
Salacious. It was funny. It was funny enough. I agree with the B grading. I think that's a good grade for it. Tell Me Lies, this episode.
You're caught up.
I'm caught up. The Thanksgiving episode.
I loved it.
Oh my God. I'm going to give this one an A. Have you ever played that slap game?
No, and I was like, why the fuck would people play this?
Have you ever played this slap shot game?
What is this game?
So it's you hand someone a shot, you pour them, and then you get to slap them in the face. It's literally just I've never played this.
No, what? Is it women slapping men?
Women slapping men slapping men slapping women softly. They're all just slapping each other. I've never seen a game like this played.
What show is this?
Tell Me Lies.
What is it? Is it real? Is it a reality show?
No, it's a scripted drama. It takes place with the kids in college.
Oh, got it.
I'm shocked you haven't seen it, but
I'm not familiar.
It's based on books. It's very popular right now.
Books.
I'm gonna give this an A. This episode. Every single holiday episode of a show is dramatic.
Just when I realized there's a point where you're oh, they're all gonna end up obviously Steven's gonna stay home for Thanksgiving or stay in college, and they're all gonna be in one room. But I was happy with the ending. I don't want to spoil it, but I feel she finally stood up for herself in a solid way. So I'll give it a B+. But
Because Kristen Bell is not
No.
in it.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what? Maybe I'll give it an A-.
Because no Kristen Bell
is not in it.
Yeah.
But no, it's getting better and better. I like it. So.
Yeah. It's solid week for Tell Me Lies. Okay. Love is Blind. Who watched Love is Blind?
I'm caught up.
I didn't know that I was watching Love is Blind when I was watching Love is Blind. I just picked up. My wife was watching it, and I just sat down because I didn't realize how far we are into it. They're already like out of their.
It goes fast.
It goes really fast, and
the
sometimes they'll have the people out of it while others are still in it. Like these people are already engaged, but then these people are still in the pods. So what I really want to talk about is because I'm not finished. I think I watched 3 episodes or 4 episodes. I'm not exactly caught up, but the guy Leo, who keeps talking about how rich he is and how he's an art dealer and he's come.
That's who my wife was just saying is the most ridiculous character that's ever been on a fucking reality show.
At first, when he started talking about how he like has come into a lot of money and he doesn't really like to talk about it because he doesn't know if the people are gonna like him for his money or whatever. I'm like, okay, understandable. And then he couldn't shut up about his money. Everything he talked about was his money. He was having people try on his Rolex. He was like, it's durable. Like he's like nonstop talking about money. And then he was torn between 2 women, Brittany and Hannah.
Okay.
And then Hannah and Brittany were both like, you're torn between 2 women. Like they both were confused why he was torn between 2 women. He starts asking Brittany, what would you want your engagement ring to look like? And he lets her know, I'm also going to be asking my other connection this. So she's like, why are you telling me this? Whatever. He ends up guessing which ring she wants. Is a whole thing.
Can't do that.
And then Hannah, his other connection, comes in and she's like, I'm picking Nick. Like, you clearly have another connection. Leo loses his goddamn mind.
He was like moaning on the couch.
No, like screaming into the pillow.
What kind of losing his mind?
No,
You're
he was like,
moaning?
Hannah, why are you doing this? Won't you marry me right now? If I ask you, you won't marry me right
He
now.
goes like, I love you. Like, there, I said it.
He was like, I only will marry someone I say I love. And guess what? I love you. And I told my other connection, I won't tell her I love her, but I love you. Like, it was just very clearly.
He got his toy taken away, and he
Yes.
was like, I want to play with the toy now.
Exactly. He didn't like that he was no longer in control. And once she had picked someone else, he freaked the fuck out. It was incredible TV.
That's amazing.
Love is Blind is like, it's always good, but certain seasons are just like A+, and you never know if they're going to live up. As soon as this guy started screaming, I was like, all right, we're getting it. I was like, we have some characters on this season, and that's a relief to me because the last season was really good, but I'm not finished yet. So I will grade the first 3 episodes. I can't remember if I watched 3 or 4, which is hard.
Oh, wait, so you're not... Yeah, okay.
I'm not out. Yeah, don't spoil anything. I'm going to give it... I'll give it a B+ because I was very intrigued.
What's who's the football player? Is there a guy who is a football player? Used to be.
Oh, that's him. He was like the kicker, like, right? That's him. Or no, he's a paint dealer. The other guy, what's his name? He was like a kicker. He wasn't in the NFL.
Is he Nick, the one who keeps talking about how he said he looked like fucking Henry Cavill, which was insane, and he's saying he's better looking than Travis Kelce?
Yeah, Nick.
Yes, that's who I'm talking. That guy's crazy.
Oh my god, he stinks. He's saying he's so good looking. I'm better looking than Travis Kelce, Henry Cavill. I'm like, bro, what are you looking at?
It's not really spoiling anything, but once like people do get together and see each other, the other girls were like, that's what he looks like.
Well, he carries himself. He's like so saucy. Like he thinks he's the man. Like he like sits down. He's like, "What's up, ladies?" Like,
it's horrible. The fact that they like think that, and it makes me feel bad for the girl that was on last season that said she looked like Megan Fox. Everyone tore her apart, and it's like we're not going to tear this guy apart for saying he looks like fucking Henry Cavill. Like that's insane.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Henry Cavill.
No,
that's
not at all.
one. And I'm all for guys being confident. Have your confidence, but at the same time, the way that his confidence is like a little bit too. He's laying it on a little thick.
Yeah, confidence with some self-awareness.
A little bit of self-awareness.
It goes a long way.
Just a little bit of self-awareness.
So, what are you grading it?
B+.
B+.
Yeah, one couple doesn't go to like the Cabo or whatever where they go, like where I'm like, how? And I've seen people say the same thing, like, how are you not? Even if they're clearly not going to get married, why wouldn't you send them just for the entertainment? Like, which was surprising when I was watching it.
Do you think they have like a contract in that show? Why do people always get to the altar?
Oh, I think, and they have to wait. Till
I think they have to
right?
wait. I think some of them, they like try to make them really wait until the altar to be like, no, for the dramatic effect.
Right. So they are making them.
I think probably.
Do you know what I mean?
They
Like
contract, yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't want your, like, if you knew, you wouldn't have your whole family come just to watch.
Right.
You.
But then there also wouldn't be a show. If every time they got to the altar they said yes, then they wouldn't have a show.
Yes, I agree. But it also just feels a little fake.
Yeah.
That know that someone's going to make it to the altar and then they're
I mean,
gonna
it's
say
the
no.
craziest show of all time. Every time they propose, I'm still blown away that they haven't seen each other and they're proposing. Like, I'm like, what? And I've seen 4 or 5 seasons of the show. How many seasons of the show there are? Last thing I watched was I watched 4 episodes of the Menendez brothers, Monsters. These guys are incredible actors. That's my takeaway from the show, is that they're incredible actors, and I am so utterly confused about this case. I wasn't familiar with this case at all.
It's like a famous 90s case, right?
I think it was 80s.
80s.
Because I asked my parents if they remember, and they remember it really well. I'd never even heard of it until this, which makes me feel like kind of stupid, but
I heard about it. I just didn't know like it in this great
so
detail.
It's 2 brothers killed their parents, but there's a long history of the parents being very abusive and a lot of things that go into that. So it's a big case because people are like, should they still be? They're getting a new trial in November now.
They're still alive.
They're still alive. They're in jail. They've been in jail for like 30 years, and they're getting a new trial because of all the, like
New publicity to
and
it.
also, like when someone kills someone and they like quote unquote like crimes of passion or like reasonings behind it, Gypsy Rose killing her mom, because I think there's a lot of that going on. But
Interesting.
My main takeaway, because I am not so familiar with the case and I'm learning about it as I watch, even though there's a lot of, they say that a lot of what's in the show isn't
family is
accurate.
not happy.
Yeah.
But then the director is saying like they should be thanking me because everyone's
Yeah,
talking
people are
about
upset
them.
with Ryan Murphy because they think that there's not an accurate depiction of what happened in the show, which is always going to happen with these kinds of shows. They're incredible actors, though. That's my main focus of this, is that these guys are really fucking good.
Did you watch the scene where it's like one take?
Not yet. That's next. That's episode 5. That's my next episode. So I'm actually going to give this. What did you grade it last week?
Probably a B+.
I'm going to go B+. Not copying you, but that's kind of where I was headed anyway. Just because it's
If it was like 100% true and the family was like, this is, then I'd maybe give it like an A-.
right. But the controversy surrounding it, I'm like,
it feels weird. I don't know. Also, just that it's a true story about them murdering their parents and like,
right.
I'm
It's
like,
dark.
This is awesome.
And I was watching
The fan edits, like I sent
I'm
you
not gonna
something.
lie, I was watching it with my parents, and they were like,
You're getting ideas?
they were like, Maria, why do you keep asking so many questions? I was like, it's really
taking notes.
interesting. I was like, oh my God, their parents were so aggravating. My dad was like, stop.
It is a trend though, like that TikTok edit that I sent you, like of everyone watching that TikTok edit.
Yeah,
like, out in
wait,
public.
and then Marty ordered cookies, like surprise cookie. We were watching with my parents, and he just ordered like dessert to the house, like for my family, and they were so excited that we got cookies, and they were like, is this like a distraction? Like,
Are these poison?
are you trying to like distract us with cookies right now? But it's good because the actors are great and people are now obsessed with them, obviously.
Yeah.
It seems super intense.
It is.
My wife was watching it in the other room while I was on the phone.
Yeah.
I've never asked her to turn a show down before. This was my first time.
It's very, very intense.
It was like just like crazy people screaming, insane.
It's also one of those where like
music.
I went into it kind of expecting the murder to be like toward the end of the show, and it's just like first episode, there it is.
Well, that's why I was like, okay, yeah, they killed their parents, done. What's there to learn? But obviously you learned about all the abuse that they went through before that.
Did they get into their lawyer? Like, do they have a female lawyer?
Yeah.
She's a very big part of it.
She's the roommate in Sopranos. If you guys watch Sopranos, Meadows' roommate.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I saw like old clips of her, and she was on like Bill Maher or something like that, and she was like a pit bull, and people would be like, well, like your clients like blew their like blew like their parents' heads off, and she's like, well, they didn't actually blow their heads off. Like she just is like super specific about every word.
Yeah.
She seems like a great lawyer.
Right.
Though.
I mean,
So
somebody
who
you want to have on your side. If you blow your parents' heads off, you better have a good
she
lawyer.
didn't blow the heads off.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's everything I watched.
I watched the movie The Prestige this week.
Oh.
For the first time?
No, but I rewatched it.
Rewatched.
That's a favorite of ours on the show.
Oh, really? You guys like it?
I
a
watched
lot?
it for the first time not too long ago.
I told
Loved
you to watch
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
I give it a like pretty much just a straight A. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It's such a good
Such
movie.
a good, exciting, suspenseful movie.
So good.
Yeah.
I watched because that was one that you watched recently because I kept saying you have to watch
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Prestige. You have to watch The Prestige. That's a
Love Christian
solid
Bale.
A.
Yeah, Christian Bale's incredible
Yeah.
in it. Hugh Jackman's
Yeah.
great in
When
it.
did
Michael
you-
Caine's great
When
in
did you
it.
find out Christian Bale had an accent
In the movie?
in real life?
Right now.
Yeah, very recently.
Very recently for me as well. In the past 2 years, I found out Christian
Because
Bale
he's
had
such
an
a good
accent.
actor, it's like he could just be embodying any role.
Yeah.
There's
And-
videos of him when he was like a child, and it's crazy to watch.
Really?
He seemed like a really smart kid, but like when he's like 10, just talking like.
Just a good. What is he, British or Australian? We still don't know.
I
think
still don't know.
I feel
I
like
s-
Australian, right? That's so funny.
But in the movie, he has like an accent like
Yeah,
this.
that kind of sounds.
He's
like Michael
English.
Caine.
He's English.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's English.
It was
He's
kinda Michael
English.
Caine-ish. He has like a stupid English, like 330.
Yeah. You got a good accent.
Yeah.
Going back to
It's
accents.
not Russian, but I do
No,
what I
it's
can.
no Russian. No Russian.
I also watched a movie called The Beekeeper on plane recent on the way back, and that fucking sucks.
Is that Statham?
Yeah, Jason Statham. That was stupid. And then since the last time I've been on, I also watched It Ends With Us.
Thoughts?
I didn't like it that much.
Wow.
Not as good as the book.
Did you read the book?
No, but I've heard people say it's not as good as the book. I just thought it was like a little bit cheesy, especially at the very beginning when they both meet each other. I like laughed out loud when
And
I
it's
heard
not supposed to be like funny.
Yeah, when she's like, he like kicks open the door and she's basically like, just like, I'm so random. Like, did you know like human heads weigh 7 pounds? She's like the little kid from Jerry Maguire, just like saying like random facts. It's like, I just thought it could be so much more impactful. But then I saw that at the box office, it did incredibly well.
Yeah, I think it was because there was a lot of drama surrounding it, and also a lot of people read the book, so people were flocking to see it. I actually liked it better than I thought I was going to like it.
Better than the book?
No.
You didn't read the book.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did? I
Yeah.
didn't think you read the book. Okay.
Fuck you.
You don't think you can read?
You immediately jumped out. You didn't read the book. Yes, I did. I talked so much about reading this book. I thought it was better than what I thought it was going to be, honestly. What would you grade it?
Like a C.
Ooh.
Sad to say. And I went in with, I don't even like to watch previews of movies before I watch them. I like to go and not knowing a single thing of what they're about. It just didn't do it for me. But I'm still Team Blake Lively, though.
Oh, and like in real life.
In real life, yeah. I'm not going to let her get canceled just because she had like a bad moment in
She was trying to have her-
2016.
That's very fair.
Have her Barbie moment with
That's
this movie,
fair.
though. That's what people.
That's
were
what
saying.
Noah's taking the things from out. He goes, she's trying to have a Barbie moment. Noah saw a couple tweets that said that.
No, I definitely did, but then I was like, it kind of is true. Like,
Yeah.
What was her What do you mean her
like
Barbie moment?
have a. I don't know how to describe it, but kind of like what she wore to the event.
So the movie was about domestic violence,
Yes.
and like all of Blake Lively's promotion was like her and her
She's
hair
like, "Go watch it with
products
your
and like flying. She was
friends."
like, grab your florals and your friends, and people were like, okay, well, there should be more of like a warning of what this movie's about because people could show up that
Right.
like have trauma
A
and then
trigger warning.
And,
then they
yeah.
watch it and they're like they think this is a movie
And it
about
was like the
florals and friends.
juxtaposition where
And her name is Lily Bloom.
Yes, very very floral Barbie moment.
Yeah, and then Just About Tony was like only talking about the
Right.
domestic violence
Yeah.
aspect.
It was the juxtaposition of the
Yeah.
two that was not great.
Well, I didn't go in to the movie thinking about domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, well, it's not a trigger warning for me, but that was like a welcome fold of it not just being a regular rom-com. So maybe she wasn't trying to spoil it, but it doesn't seem like that's what people are
Right.
saying.
And
She
I think
wasn't
that's what people
doing
are like, it's not a rom-com and she's making it seem like it's a rom-com. So that's what the whole
She's
discussion
like, go
was
watch it with your
about.
friends, and Rone's like, all right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I'm my drop top convertible on the way to the.
Is that you got everything?
That was
What would you rate The Beekeeper? I don't think you gave a grade.
like a C minus.
You can go F. We've thrown
If
some
it's
Fs around
terrible.
here. Noah's throwing some Fs.
Really?
When Kristen Bell's in it.
Yeah, he just hates Kristen
Yeah.
Bell. Kristen Bell. I'm trying to think anything else that I've watched. I went for a walk in Prospect Park. I'll give that an A.
That's beautiful.
Just watching life.
It was really nice. I went to the Kourtney concert on Saturday night. I give that a B.
Oh, okay.
Pretty fun.
B, not full A.
I always wondered about
Hathaway.
I honestly thought I liked some of his music, and then I saw that he was playing, but I'm like, I don't know, like
His
how
music's
those-
awesome.
How
His
that
concert
translates,
wasn't as
'cause
good
it's
as
just
his
him
music.
like playing his songs, like right.
But I saw him at Forest Hills. I also saw Fred again at Forest Hills. That was like one of the best experiences of my life.
Really?
It was like just the way that the show came together. He's just mixing it, moving all over the place. Everybody's going crazy. He was kind of just, I'm not a DJ, I don't know, but he would just play a song, stop it, play another song, stop it.
But Fred again like does it live.
Yeah,
like,
Fred
what
again
differentiates,
fucking ruled.
yeah.
Are you a fan of Fred again or Kourtney?
No.
Neither?
No.
Have you ever even tried to
that's-
listen to Fred
I'm,
again?
I'm not saying I'm not. Like, haven't even listened.
Treat yourself to some Fred again.
I always see people talking about Fred again.
I feel like he had like a moment where he was just like the only thing people were talking about. And I
Yes.
feel like
Yes.
he's kind of
That was like last year.
faded
Right, it
a
was
little
last
bit.
year. Everyone was talking about Fred again, and I never even dove in.
It was still, that was like a Paramount concert experience in my life that I'm still chasing.
Really?
It was that fun.
So maybe I need to dive in. Maybe I need, like you said, treat myself.
Treat yourself.
Noah, what did you watch?
Maybe I'll have some recommendations for you guys, like since you didn't watch
Okay.
as much.
Okay, I'm ready.
So yeah, I watched Nobody Wants This. Give that a B plus. Tell Me Lies, A minus. Love Is Blind, B plus. I watched the new George Clooney Brad Pitt movie on Apple TV.
Oh, what is that? Where they're
Wolves?
like fixers?
Yeah,
That seems really good.
yeah. And for some reason, when I heard about it, I was just like, oh, that's probably bad since like I haven't seen it promoted that much, and it's just probably like a money grab. But it was good. Like it wasn't groundbreaking or incredible, but they have great chemistry. It's kind of like nostalgia.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was just like a fun movie.
So you had a good time.
I had a good time. I'll give that a B minus. I'll give that a B. I'll give that a B.
Okay.
No, I'll give that a B minus.
Decide.
B minus.
It's really your
B
call.
minus. But I would definitely say it's worth watching, and it's a good watch. And also, I was just like, how is Brad Pitt over 60? I mean, they're both over 60, but
Yeah.
Brad Pitt looks like he's 40.
It's crazy.
Handsome. Timelessly handsome.
Yeah. It's What's Inside. It's a new movie on Netflix. I highly recommend this one. And I would highly recommend that you don't look anything up about the movie, and that's why I won't say anything
What
before
genre?
watching it. I would say it's horror,
Oh.
but not really.
Yeah.
It's not.
I was
It's
about to say I'm out too.
Yeah.
it's not really like scary like that.
You
It's
said
more like
horror right off the bat.
Thriller, suspense.
maybe more thriller and like psychological. Like
Ooh.
it's hard to explain, but it's a bunch of friends. I'll give you this. It's a bunch of friends who are getting together. One of them's getting married, so they're all like reuniting the night before the wedding. And this one friend that they haven't seen in a while, like he just kind of shows up with a suitcase, and he opens the suitcase, and what happens after that is
what
the whole movie.
ensues.
Yeah,
What's
But I won't say-
inside?
exactly. So I won't say.
Wow.
What are you grading it?
I'll give that a B plus. Like I was very much entertained. It's funny, very funny.
It's funny,
it makes you
but it's
think.
horror.
It's a mix of everything.
Okay.
But it
Thrilling and
really, I
funny.
really wouldn't think it's not scary. There was no point where I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm scared. It's very Black Mirror-ish, if I had to describe it. Felt like
Psychological.
felt like a long like Black Mirror episode. And then I watched the first 2 episodes last night of the show. I don't even know if I'm saying this right. Grotesquerie. It's the show Travis Kelce's in, and that's why
The
I
one
watched
Donna Kelsey did a press run
it.
for.
Yeah, because he was the thumbnail of the thing, and I'm like, oh, let me watch this. He has not been in the show yet. It's been 2
So
episodes.
classic. That is so classic.
They baited you.
Yeah.
They baited and switched
But
you.
I didn't know what to expect, and it's like a serious show about. It's kind of like Seven, the movie Seven. Like
Is he an actor? He acts in it?
He's acting in it. He's an
What?
actor. Yeah.
Travis Kelce got an acting job this summer?
Multiple. I think he's got multiple shows and
What?
movies coming out.
I think that one, and I think he's just hosting the "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader" Celebrity
Yeah.
Edition.
I haven't seen him act in this yet. He hasn't been in the show yet, but it's like a serial killers on the loose with these like very strategic and terrifying, disgusting like murders, and it's like trying to catch who did it. But yeah,
Fascinating.
I would give it a B so far. I'm excited to see what Travis Kelce does, and yeah,
That's
one.
it?
If you're not like into scary stuff, I wouldn't watch it because it's
I don't
pretty
like to be-
it's pretty
I don't like to be scared.
gruesome and graphic.
Some solid watches from you.
Yeah, you're
Those are all
right.
B range.
No, I was thinking that. I'm like on the B range.
Damn, you had some good
Could have
watches.
dipped
Good week.
into A if
Yeah.
it wasn't for Kristen Bell.
Damn, Kristen Bell. That's all you watched?
That's all I watched.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Rone, for joining us.
Thank
We
you for
really
having me.
chatted it up. I'm really glad we got to do
Yeah.
this. Anytime you want to come on and talk about Bravo, any
Love
of
it.
your interests, please do. And that's it, guys. That's everything we watched. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much for watching and listening. It was a long episode. I hope you made it through the whole thing. Thank you to Kelly Gia, Rone for joining me and giving you all the pop culture needs that you want in your life. We love you guys so much. We have a big guest coming on Wednesday. We'll do a little solo. We'll do a little guest. It's going to be a lot of fun. We love you guys so very much. Big hugs and kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.